Yeah, so I'm live again, man, and this time I just have a discussion with Kenny Boomer, and you know what you will find with a person like Kenny Boomer is the often use of the word Islamophobe. But if you should really look into who is an Islamophobe, you will find that Kenny Boomer is the biggest Islamophobe. And today we're just gonna look and show you that Kenny Boomer is one of the biggest Islamophobe you will ever find anywhere at all. And we're gonna start out and looking at some of the things that he says, and to show that Muslim are Islamophobe. The big Muslims are the biggest Islamophobe, and we'll show you why. Because when you cannot speak the truth about your religion, then you are scared of your religion. You have a phobia. And is it a Islamophobia? Is it a phobia really? No, I wouldn't say that. It's an irrational fear. Wow, or is it a rational fear? So I don't know if it's a rational fear. So what can I say? You are hiding something, so you have a reason to be hiding that thing that you are hiding. So, is it Islamophobia? No, you have a rational fear. Me, I have a rational fear, and for Islam, and Kenny Boomer have the same rational fear that I have, but he called my rational fear Islamophobe. So I'm calling his rational fear Islamophobe, because when you cannot speak the truth about the evil of your religion, then you know that you're Islamophobic. And you're Islamophobic. You're Islamophobe. Sorry. So let's kind of look at some of the things that Kenny Boomer says during this discussion, and you will see how it started out. But I am so used to looking at Muhammad, even him himself looked down on Muhammad. He actually looked down on Muhammad. There is a video of him saying that, do you think that Muslim men, paraphrasing, go around looking at little girls and this, something similar like that? That is sick. So he's looking at Muslim men looking at 6 years old and 9-year-old as sick, which I do look at that as sick. So he's saying that Muslim men don't go around looking at 9-year-old, but that's something that his prophet did. His prophet had sexual relationship according to Islam. His prophet had sexual relationship with a 9-year-old after marrying to her at age 6. So and this actually fits what we are talking about, women rights in Islam. Women have no right in Islam per se in a lot of ways. And you will see as a discussion, he's running from the discussion. He's totally running from the discussion. And I know he would, because before, I'm going to read what the promise was. Before all this, before the discussion, I'm going to read you what he promised that he would not do. And then at the end of the day, that's exactly what he did, because you cannot trust him. You cannot trust a person like Kenny Boom. It's just logical. You cannot trust him, because if you make a promise to someone, keep your promise, and you will see that he is not a guy who keeps his promise. So let's go up and show you guys what this guy says. The discussion, he want me to come on because he blocked me, and then he opened back the block and asked me to come to if I want to come to and discuss the video that I make. So if you look at this right now, let me show you guys what's going on here. You will see the kind of guy that we are dealing with when we are dealing with Kenny Boomer. Facebook. Okay, so look at it right here. So let's make sure this is enlarged so you guys can see, because We don't do anything that we or say anything that we cannot prove. That's what Kenny Boomer does. Kenny Boomer talk and he cannot prove what he talk, you know. But we don't do that. Anything we say, we can prove what we say. So here we go. Here is Kenny Boomer. Here he is right here. Okay, let me see if I could make it large for you guys to see, because that's the best way. So here he is. Right here, let me enlarge it. Okay. So if you look here, anybody looking, they will see what the discussion was with Kenny Boomer. So let me go and make sure I'm up on this page so we could show you guys exactly the kind of guy that you are dealing with. And when you see that lady on her on his platform, you know she's just like him. They get along well because they are one of a kind. So let's go up. So right here is where I so make sure that it's big enough for everybody to see. Okay, okay. So right here, he says, he called me a troll because I show him a video that I made counteracting his video about women in Islam, because we know that women right in Islam is not the same as women right in America. And anybody try to say that it is the same, that's a lie. We all know that it's a lie. You know, and so what we see here, he says, he called me a troll. So I said to him, I said, no one can troll you if you do not want it. You have, I think I mean to say you have the option, but I say you can. You have the option to stop me from communicating with you. So this is the key here. He's calling me a troll. I sent him something. He called me a troll. So I said, stop being emotional like Aisha when Muhammad took her from her parents home to have sex with her. I'm not scared because he did. The little girl was so emotional that she became sick. According to the Islamic sources, she became sickly because she was emotionally disturbed, taken from her parents' home at 6-year-old to go live with a man who have no desire to be your father, but to be your sexual partner. So he said he already blocked me up here. If you further up here, he already blocked me. But he said, I have a better idea. How about you join me in a discussion on my show regarding the rights of women in Islam? I promise to give you plenty of ample opportunity to speak. I'm not going to say that he didn't give me time to speak, but this is my side of the deal. And that's why you find out that Islam is not trustworthy. Kenny is showing us that Islam is not trustworthy, because my side of the deal and your side of the deal, did you agree with it? He says, I said, the only way I will do that is if you be respectful enough not to mute me when I am speaking. He said, okay, can you do this about 3 hours from now? I said, I do not want a bunch of Muslims talking over me. He go ahead and he says, it's going to be him and I alone. That's what he says. He says it's going to be him and I alone. He said, it will be only me and you. And I said, cool. That was our agreement, that he doesn't mute me. But do you see, he cannot stick to what he said. If you agree, okay, great. You are agreeing that you will not mute a person. So when I say Islam cannot be trusted, Islam cannot be trusted. And Kenny is showing that Islam cannot be trusted. So as we go into this video, you will see more and more why I tell you that Islam cannot be trusted. And at the first thing he started talking about it bringing strike against my channel. And do you notice that woman? Oh, I can't be your nurse, and you're talking so about Islam or Muslim and this and that. But no one is saying that Muslim intentionally lie, but Islam is a lie. Islam is a lie. So do I treat Muslim bad because they lie? No. So all that stuff about, oh, you're a nurse and I can't believe that, that's a superficial, that just show you how evil that woman is, because just like they attack Eric Smith, they want to attack me, but I'm a different person. I'm not Eric Smith at all. And I don't believe in the philosophy of quitting. You know, I'm not that kind of guy. So she could come and talk all you want. My Bible told me to love my enemies. Islam is my enemy. A Muslim is not really my enemy, but a Muslim is under deception. So how would I treat a Muslim different from? No, that's not my Messiah. That's an Islamic problem. Even though they're trying to paint Islam as something good, we will see that Islam is not good based on the topic that we have here. So if you look, so let me show you what this guy is trying to sell here. And I'm going to show you how he is. So he make up this big topic because he believed he was going to go in his favor. And if you look at this topic right here, what he says here, he says, he take your pictures and he put your picture up there, because that's how he is. Advertisement, you know, advertising himself, you know, and he put, Christian denies equality between men and women in Islam. I didn't deny that. Your Quran denied that. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have a foe. You're scared of your Quran. You have a fear. Is it rational or is it irrational? You have a fear of teaching what your Quran teach. Your Quran say women are not equal to man, and I will show you. Let's read the Quran, because this is where we're gonna go to. We're gonna read the Quran, and we show you that the Quran itself say women are not equal to men. So first, if we look at the Quran, and these are Muslim, Shur Ali on Surah 2, verse 28. But men have a degree of advantage above them. He says, and they, the women, have rights similar to those of the men. This is similar. You could have rights similar to those of a man, but the man is over, the man have advantage over them. So you might have the right to use the bathroom, but you don't have the right. You have the right. You have the right to clean the bathroom, while I don't have the right to clean the bathroom. As a man, I shouldn't clean the bathroom. That doesn't mean that because you have some rights of a man, that mean that you have all the rights of a man. And we show you that in Islam, a woman does not have all the rights of a man, and a woman is inferior to a man. It says, they, the women, have rights similar to those of a man. The man, notice it, of those over them in equity. Over them. Who is over them? Who is over them? The man. But men have a degree of advantage above them. And what is that degree of advantage? That's what we need to find out. What is that degree of advantage? And according to Sally, his translation says, but the men are to have a superiority over them. So man is superior over. So one translated as superiority, and the other one translated as advantage above them. Another Rahman Umar, yet men have a place above them. So men have a place, even though they have. Notice what Rahman Umar said. Women have their rights. He said, women have their rights. THEIRRIGHT. Their rights similar to their obligation in an equitable and just manner. In an equitable and just manner. But what is justice according to the Quran? That's something that you need to take into consideration. What is justice according to Islam? Take that into consideration. And what is rights, similar rights, according to Islam? Here he goes again. This one is from Palmer. But the man should have precedence over them. And this is from Dawood. Although men have a status above women. Now, if we go on to Quran 4, verse 34, it said, men have authority over women because God has made the one superior to the other. And it goes on to say, men are superior. That's another translation. That translation was Dawood. Now, this translation is Rodwell. Rodwell said, men are superior to women on account of the equality with which God has gifted the one above the other. So they are not equal. One equality is above the other equality. So equality, the qualities, not quality, equality. So men are superior to women on account of the qualities with which God has gifted the one above the other. So even though women have similar rights, still one have qualities above the other. Men stand superior to women, and that's Palmer. So if we go to Surah 2, verse 282, it says, and get 2 witnesses out of your men, and if there are not 2 men, then a woman and 2 men. So then a woman and 2 men. What is that telling you? That 1 man equal 2 women. 1 man equal 2 women. You remember when Muhammad was buying an Arab slave one time? Muhammad buy the slave by using 2 black slaves to pay for the Arab slave. This is similar right here. Equality. What is the equality? And then he talks about equality. We go to Surah 4, verse 111. Allah commands you as regard to your children's inheritance, to the male a portion equal to that of 2 females. So there I go again. A man is almost seems 2 times greater than a woman. Continue again. 4 verse 176. If there are brothers and sisters, the male will have twice the share of the female. So you see, we are not telling any lie. So let's go to see what how this thing start off and where we are going with this. Let's go past all this nonsense. We don't want
to what his objections are regarding equality between men and women in Islam. And so I was wondering, Olga, do you think it'd be appropriate for us to go ahead and it's a short video, but to go ahead and so that the audience has an understanding about what I'm saying and then what you're actually refuting. So go ahead. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and play that video. That way the audience understands what's going on here, what's being stated, and what you're actually objecting to. In the range of, I don't want to say what I'm making, but it's more than half of what my wife makes. She makes good money, but I make double that and then some. And it's, I don't want to say what it is just because I don't want to be vain about or arrogant about that. But nevertheless, so no, you didn't get that information from the Quran. What you've done is you've made some very, unfortunately, Islamophobic and xenophobic comments in that you're trying to imply that people here in the West are somehow better than people in other areas of the world. And that's very
women. I'm paraphrasing, because those countries in Europe.
About the rights of women in Islam.
Okay.
Late last night, once again, Olga had sent me a link to a video that he made. I think it was.
So this is where I want to start, and you guys going to see that this guy ate his Quran. He wants to preach a kind of Islam that is only in his mind and in the books that he's going to show at the end. It's not something that comes from within the Quran or the Hadith around him. What he do, they make these books and they sell it at their Dawah center, because Dawah here in the United States is deception, and that's why I say it's a lie. What they're teaching in their book is totally a lie. So let's go and show you what this guy is saying.
It was about 2.5 hours long. I didn't watch it.
So I make a video about his video, and he didn't watch it. He didn't watch my video, but he says, okay, come on, let's come and discuss. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you did not watch what I said. And that's why he came here and make a fool of himself.
But he sent me the link. Obviously, he has a difference of opinion about whether or not there's equality between men and women in Islam. So, Olga, we'll pick it up at that. I do have a timer that we can use if you'd like to go back and forth 3 minutes or so. I want to make sure that you have plenty of time to let us know what you think. And so if you'd like to use the timer, we can do that. Or,
No, I don't have to use the timer.
Okay. All right. So what is your opinion? What is it that you believe about the status of equal rights between men and women in Islam?
According to Islam, if you are talking about Weslam, as I would term it, there's this a belief in the West, totally different from what actually Islam is. So if you're talking about Weslam, as I call it, then you would think that women have equal right, because when you are in the United States, or you are in Canada or England, and those countries in Europe, and even Jamaica, you realize that you're governed by the Western law that is actually based Christian based. So you will see a lot of things that make it appear that Islam can function in a normal society without Islamic rule. It seems that way, but if you have a Sharia law running the country and things are based upon Islam, then it would be a total disaster for women under Islamic rule. So in the United States now, you have American law, so a man can do certain things to his wife according to the Quran and the Hadith. So you realize that Islam have to be passive. When you are in the West, Islam have to be passive. But if Islam under Sharia law would never be passive towards women, because according to the Quran, I think it's Quran 4 verse 38:4, you can beat your wife. And if you can beat your wife, Islam would not function. If Islam is to be practiced the way according to Muhammad and his Quran, it cannot work in the United States, because you would have men running in and out of courthouse 24/7, men locked up in jail with felonies and can't get a job. Do you notice what I say? I said if Islam was supposed to be practiced according to the Quran and according to the Hadith, there is no way that in America that a Muslim would prosper. And that's what I say. But if you notice what this guy is going to do, he's going to try to twist what I say to make it and then he's gonna say, "Oh, Christian country versus Muslim country. There is more. Uh, uh, there's less Muslim in jail over here, and all this stuff." That's not what I was saying. I was saying if Sharia law was supposed to be implemented in America, and things were supposed to be run according to the Quran that tell you to beat your wife, and then the American, the American law. I'm talking about the American law now. Under the American law, if you were to do things according to the Quran, you would be in trouble all the time, because men would be beating their wife, and then all they would have is felonies, and then they cannot compete in the job market. And that's true. When people have felony in America, a lot of time they can't get no job. They cannot get no job. They can't get no job. And we see where the Quran is telling you that you can beat your wife. So, if you look at the Quran, as I say, and you will see, and I repeat to him, is you see Quran 4 verse 34 from Pictal, is said to scourge them. Scourge means beat. We already know that. Another word for scourge is beat. Rodwell, scourge them, beat. He means to beat. To scourge somebody is to beat. And Mohammed Assad, beat them. Adel Alim, eat them. Sahih International, strike them. Tala al-Itani, then strike them. So you see, and Ali, what is a Bakatari, whatever, then spank them. And Hassan al-Fatih, and smack them. So you see, beating, you could smack your wife, you could beat your wife, you could scourge your wife, you could strike your wife, you could spank your wife. So what you're gonna see this guy do after I finish talking, he's gonna twist my word and say something that I didn't say. I did not say there is more Muslim in jail, because there is way less Muslim in America than any other people in America. America, there's a small amount of Muslim here compared to the population of America. So there can never be more Muslim in jail. And as I say, when you're in America, you have to abide by the American law, or else you mess up your life. And that's the subjugation that they have here. Who knows what they would have been doing without? And then I'm gonna show you how naive this guy is. This guy go as far as to say in Muslim there's more reported domestic violence, and I wrote it down, but I don't know where the paper went. I think my little son took the paper while he was here. He moved the paper. More domestic violence in America than it is in other places, and that's not something that you can prove as true, because what? America report everything. The law here is so fair that if domestic violence is on report, if a woman is beaten, it is recorded and report if it goes into the court system. The only one that's not recorded and report is the one that is not reported to law, to the court and to law enforcement agency. That's the one that is not recorded. If it's reported to law enforcement agency, then it's recorded. Kenny Boomer should know that. He should know that. Even if it's true, even if it's not true, it's recorded. He should know that, because they got court record here. But what about Islamic country? A man could beat his wife and no court, and there's no court system. So how do you know that in certain Islamic societies, women are not beaten more than they are beaten in America? You can't tell that. You cannot tell that, because what is not reported. If it's a law to beat your wife, the Quranic law, who you going to report it to? When you go to the police station, the police said he have his right to beat you according to the Quran. Who are you going to report it to? So at the end of the day, most of what this guy says, if you really look back over it, it doesn't even make no sense. So then guess what? According to the Quran, again, it says men are in charge of women. I'm paraphrasing. because because of the money they spend on women. And we have I think, to me, that's an idea that was created for the people living in the time of Muhammad, because that does not apply to today's society. And even that, I say, he's gonna twist that too. When I continue further, he's gonna twist what I say, because according to the Quran, one of the reason a man is above a woman is, let's read it, and that's we found in Surah 4, verse 34. Because they spend of their property to support women, and this is Pictal, and that's the Pictal there. So Pictal is saying because they spend of their property to support women. So the reason they are superior to the woman is because they spend of their property to support women. But in the West, there's women who make way more money than some men. And I use an example, and you're gonna go and as if I say all Muslim men are the same here, because this is what this guy is about. And this is deception to me. That's deception, because this is what he is about. If I say something, quote what I say what I say, don't say what I don't say. And you will see as we go along, when his time come around, he's gonna say what I don't say. Where women actually, a lot of women are making more money than men are making. So you realize that how does that apply to a man living in this society here in America, and being a Muslim, knowing that a God is telling them that the reason they are superior to the man and the woman, and they're above the woman, is because they take care of the woman with their wealth. But then when you look at it, the woman is actually making more money. So I'm talking about specific men, because in America here, there's a lot of Muslim women who are making more money than their partner, their male partner, their husband. But according to the Quran, it is saying that you're superior to the. Let me read it so you guys could see exactly how the Quran put it, and you will see that this could never be from any God at all. He says, "Men are in charge of women because Allah had made the one of them to excel the other, and because they spend of their property for the support of women." Do you see that? That's not God, because God should be thinking in the future and seeing the future, because God is all-knowing, and he's seeing that, hey, there is a time. And even in the time of Muhammad's wife, Khadijah, had more money than Muhammad. So how does this make any sense? This is not God at all. And we all know that Muhammad thought he was possessed when he ran from the cave. He said, "Woe is me, poet are possessed." He run to his wife and he says, "I hear sounds, I hear noise." I'm paraphrasing him. I fear that I am mad. And we find that in Ibn Sa'd, Book of the Major Class, the first citation where he says, "Woe is me, poet are possessed." We found this that in Ibn Ishaq, Life of the Prophet, Surah Rasul. So we know that, and not only that, we found it elsewhere. Ibn Kathir told us that Warika warned Muhammad that it might be someone other than Gabriel that is speaking to him. He might be a devil, and we found that in Ibn Kathir, I think it's called The Life of the Prophet Muhammad. So, nothing that I say, it cannot be cited, So you can't say woman is equal to man when you can beat your wife, but your wife cannot beat you. And that is what this Muslim is trying to sell. And, when you disagree with them, they get so angry that when you disagree with him, he know you couldn't be fair with me, but he said, when I said the only way I will come if you promise that you won't mute me, and guess what? He could not stick to his promise. Why? What that make him? Literally a liar. If you can't stick to your promise, you're a liar. You cannot stick to your promise, you're a liar. You have a man working into a gas station. That's all his job is, working in a gas station. He don't even own the gas station while his wife is a nurse. And I know of such a man. So I'm using a scenario of one man who work in a gas station and his wife is a nurse. And guess what this guy gonna do? He's gonna act as if I say all Muslims work in a gas station, working in a gas station, don't own the gas station. And I know Muslims who own gas station. I actually know Muslims who own restaurants and gas station. So you see that this guy is not being truthful. I know a Muslim who own more than one gas station. It's not one Muslim. It's like a father and son, and they were real good people. I played soccer with them when I was younger. So when I say good, I mean decent people. So at the end of the day, what do you see here? This guy is not really. At the end, you're going to find out that this guy is not really a truthful guy. He didn't plan to tell the truth in the beginning. She's making $27, $28 an hour, while he making maybe what, $14 an hour. But he's the one. The Quran is telling him one of the reasons he's above his wife and he's in charge of his wife is because he spends his money on the wife when the wife is spending more money in the house. So you can see that.
Okay, all right. Let me stop you there. You said a number of things, and first, let me ask you, Olga, where did you get this information from?
From your Quran.
You got all that information from the Quran.
Yes, all that information from the Quran.
And I think that's a bit of a stretch. By example, when I'm working in the field of.
So when he asked me where I get this information from, and thinking like, what information is he talking about? I'm thinking about the information about a man is superior to his wife because of money and the money he spent. That come from the Quran. That came straight from the Quran. You see me read it from the Quran. You see me read it from the Quran. You know, so let me make you guys see this for yourself, so you could see that this comes straight from the Quran. But you know, he go off on another thing, and you will see this is why, some people stop going to his channel because he's not a trustworthy guy. You know, I'm ragamuffin, as Jamaicans would say, but I'm trustworthy. You know, if I if I say to you, okay, this is what we're gonna do when you come to my channel, that's exactly what's gonna happen. The only way I will mute someone from my channel if he's using profanities on my channel. Like if he's not using any profanities, he's not blaspheming against the Christ or his Father, the Holy Spirit. He could stay on the channel. You see what I'm saying? I don't like the ranting and all the stuff, but that's okay. So when we look at the Quran, let's show you where we can go, and we're gonna take a journey into the Quran, because most of the time when you speak, people think that you are lying, and what we do here, we tell pure truth. You know, we don't make up stuff like Kenny Boomer make up stuff. You will see that he's a makeup artist. You will see that he need to go to Hollywood. He makes some good money being a makeup artist. He's a fake. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go here and show you from the Quran itself, different translation, and we're gonna show you what the Quran itself says. So I'm gonna read from 3 different translations, and that's enough. I don't need to read more from three different translations. And so here we go, because we share information here. We don't just, we're sharing pamphlets. Pamphlets is not the Quran, and pamphlets is not the Hadith. And that's what Kenny decided to do, to come and share pamphlets and his own idea in his own head. But, you know, when he realized it wouldn't work for him, he started becoming devious. He started wanting to put you at the back, because that's who Kenny is. As I say, you cannot paint a monkey and make it a princess or a prince. You could polish yourself so much and act like you're better than people and you're more righteous than people. The moment you're a liar, you are the worst person. For real. Because the devil is a liar from the beginning. Okay, look. Men are in charge of women. This is Sai International. And if you look at it, it's Surah 4, verse 34. Men are in charge of women. So if a man is in charge of a woman, automatically the man is above the woman in some form of sense. By right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they have spent for maintenance from their wealth. So this is one where we see a man is above a woman because he spent on her. What about the millions of women in this world, especially in America? In the nursing field in America, women dominate the nursing field, making good money out here, while some of their husbands don't even work. And as I say, I know a Muslim whose man is a nurse, who is a nurse, and the man work at a gas station. I don't know if he still worked there, but at the time when I used to play soccer with him, he used to work at a gas station while his wife was a nurse. So I'm saying, so she make way more money than he make. She work way more money than he make. Now RN are being making like $30-something an hour. At the time she was making like $25, $27, $28 an hour. He was what making. I said, I said 14. At the time, he wasn't even making $14 an hour. I was just rounding off things. But according to this Quran, you're above your wife because of the money that you make. You spend on him, on her. What if the woman is spending more money than you? How are you above the woman? So the Quran doesn't even make any sense, in a sense. Then we go further. Men are in charge of women because Allah had made the one of them to excel the other because they spend of their properties for the support of the woman. So that is Pickthall translation. Now we go to Yusuf Ali. Men are protectors and maintainers of women. And that's not true all the time. Sometimes the woman is a protector of the man. To be real with you, there is women out here, tough women. Tougher than you. I was making this comparison the other day about this lady called Rose is in the MMA. Which one of us as a simple man can beat Rose? Which one of us as a simple man can just bully Rose and jump on Rose? Rose whoop her butt because she got the ability to whoop her butt. But what about the maintainers? The part that is so troubling is the part that says maintainers. How you maintain a woman if the woman is have more the potential to make more money than you? So what do we see here? This, whoever this God is, doesn't even make any sense because Allah has given the one more strength. So they put strength in a bracket. So you know that anything is in a parenthesis is not from the God, is inserted than the other. And because they support them from their means. So because man support women from their means, the woman is inferior to you. And what about the woman supporting you? So automatically, what does it do? The table flip-flop turn what? There is a lot of women who have better mental ability than men. So because they have better mental ability than men, they excel in the work in the job market. There are women who are managers doing all these great things out here. And to me, this verse is very demeaning to today's women. So automatically, we see where this verse is actually putting women down. So that's what we see so far. So let's go back and see what the rest of this video that we are going to show is actually saying. So let's share again. Let's share again and see. Oh, the guy is not going to represent what I say because that's who I want him to be my friend, but he cannot. It's hard for him to be. I love him though.
Inspection, which is my normal occupation. I'm making in the range of. I don't want to say what.
And do you see why does he go into the money that he was making? And that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about the Quran saying men maintain women because men are inferior to women because of the maintenance that they give to women. But what about the woman who have more money than the man? That's what I was talking about. But he started talking about how much money he make and how much his wife make and this and that. And that's not what I say. So he's actually ignoring what I say, playing blind or something like that. Then automatically you will hear him actually say, make it look like I was demeaning Muslims when I was not.
I'm making, but it's more than half of what my wife makes. She makes good money, but I make double that and then some. And it's I don't say what it is just because I don't want to be vain about or arrogant about that. But nevertheless, so no, you didn't get that information from the Quran. What you've done is
And do you see what he did? He said, I did not get that information from the Quran. Did you see me read the Quran to you guys? That information came from the Quran. I don't know if he's talking about my overall information or he's talking about me reading the Quran. But if he's talking about me reading the Quran, then you see that deception again.
Made some very, unfortunately, Islamophobic and xenophobic comments in that you're trying to imply that people here in the West are somehow better than people in other areas of the world. And that's very...
And do you see how lying he is? He says, I am saying that women people in the West are better than the ones in other places of the world or something like that. And that's a lie. I never use the word better because that's not I don't play that way. No human being is better than the other human being. All men are created equal. None is better. You know, that's where you find it in Islam. Islam is the one that teach that people are better than other people. not me. You will never hear me teach anything that Islam teach that the Muslim are the best. But then this guy come here you're going to hear him talking about equality. But then Islam teach that Muslim are the best, and people who don't believe in Islam are the worst of creatures. People who don't believe in Islam are the worst of creatures. But at the same time, you will hear him later as we go on saying that acting as if Islam is a place where all people could live as one. Islam is trying to create an atmosphere where all people live as one. No, if you look at the Islamic rule toward the history, Christian had to pay jizya to Islam, and these people say that it's protection money. But why is it all citizens of a country should be paying protection money? That was exploitation. All citizens of a country should be paying protection money. I here pay protection money. Kenny Bomer pay protection money because we all pay taxes. And our taxes is how we get protection. The police are paid by our taxes. The army is paid by our taxes. So we pay protection of money. You don't see America telling me to pay one money because I'm a Christian, to pay no money because I'm a Christian, and tell Kenny Boomer that he or anybody from a foreign country that they got to pay a specific money because for a protection. So what kind of law was Islam under? So you see, and even after Muhammad, they were exploiting people. In Spain, the Christian and the Jews have to pay jizya. And even Muhammad, in his mind, he think that jizya was going to continue until, because listen to what Muhammad says, that Jesus will return, Isa will return, and he will break the cross and do this and stop the jizya. So he will stop the jizya because money will be everywhere. So Muhammad believed this exploitation of people was going to continue and continue and continue and continue. And the only way that this exploitation is going to stop because everybody will have money. So you see, Muhammad head was full of exploitation and money. Why are you charging another sect if all people are equal, as he says in the last part of the video? You will see that when we get down there, I'm gonna make 3 videos from this video. And as we get down there, you will see that he say Islam is trying to create equality with people, but you see that that's a lie. It's a total lie, because if I'm equal to you, why am I paying jizya when you're not paying jizya? And we see that in Spain, the Jews used to pay jizya and the Christian used to pay jizya until Isabella and Ferdinand came and root that up. So this guy here, to me, I believe that he is naive. I just think that he don't even know what he's into. And in his mind, he's telling himself something when the reality is different. His reality is not actuality.
That's a very arrogant thing to say, and it's a very offensive thing to say.
But you see what he do? Attack. He started attacking. It's a very arrogant thing to say. And then when I say something, what he do? Mute me out. So this is an attack right here. It's a very arrogant thing to say. What did I say arrogant? I didn't say anything arrogant. All I say, if Muslims were to follow the Quran and the Hadith in America under American law, there would be a lot of Muslims in jail. There would be a lot of Muslims in jail and have felonies and misdemeanors and all kind of stuff. And they will be stuck here, just like a lot of black people fall themselves into the system because of injustice and also because of their on education, with not lacking of education. Let me put it that way: lacking of education. They find themselves into these traps because they follow in each other's footsteps. And when I say black people, I am one of them. You know, and when I look at it, it's here in America where you fall into that trap, because many places in the world, even Jamaica, you have what would consider a felony here, but you could still go get a job somewhere. But the system here, when you got a felony, you can get a job. If you beat your wife, you would get a felony here. Because what? That's assault. If you beat your wife in any way or nothing, slap her, what he says, you can spank her. Is that what the Quran says? Let me look again. It says scourge her, jail time. Scourge her, jail time. Beat them, jail time. Hit them, jail time. Strike them, jail time. Strike them, jail time. Spank them, jail time. Smack them, jail time. This is coming from a God. And this is the final revelation. The Quran is stupidity. The Quran is stupidity. Like when I say, I grade stupidity. I grade. When I say I grade stupidity, it is the kind of stupidity Satan get drunk from. This is the I grade stupidity coming from a very low level place. So let's continue, see what the Abdul is saying.
Because for one, it's in Islam, we believe in equality for all genders and all races and nationalities and so forth. And so to make those type of comparisons and suggest that a Muslim man is working in a gas station and his wife is a nurse and, you know, she's making more money than he does, implying that all men that you see working in the gas station are just working there. They don't.
Where did I imply that? Do you see this guy is a liar? Where did I imply that all men working in the gas station? It doesn't own the gas station. I said I know a guy. Isn't that what I say? I know a guy who's a Muslim guy whose wife is a nurse making 25. I think I said $25 to $28 an hour. I know at the time they were about $25 to $28 an hour. Now because of COVID, all that goes up. People are being paid sick money as a RN, sick money. There's RN who are making $180 like they're doctors. $180 an hour. I have a friend who go to California. First he went to Texas, then now he's in California. He's making $188 an hour. $188 an hour. There's some people who are making, I'm telling you this, there are people who are making like $10,000 a month working as a nurse. $10,000 a month working as a nurse. There's people who are making actually LPN who are making $5,000 a week. $5,000 a week. There's people who are making way more than that. It depends on where you go. It depends on where you fall yourself into. There's people who are making, if you travel outside a certain radius, within certain radius, $1,000 extra a week extra. If you straddle within certain radius, $2,500 extra. Depends on the radius that you are going, how far you are going. Extra money, and your pay is like 2,000, 3,000 LPN. I'm talking about 3,000 a week. So you're getting 3,000, an extra 1,000. That's 4,000. If you are going that extra distance, you're getting 3,250. That's 5,500. Those are the money that people are making now. A week. You know, there's RN who are making $10,000 a month. There's RN who are making $10,000 a week. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Look it up if you think I'm lying. This guy is making $188. He had a job here, was giving him $90-something a day, $90-something an hour, and he quit it and go take travel to California to make $188 a hour. Calculate $188 an hour if you work 12 hours per shift and 7 days a week. Calculate that. Plus all the allowances that you get. And they do get travel allowances. And if two people decided to stay together, they could split the travel allowance in half and get off of it. This is what's going on in here. No one is talking about Muslim inferior and making less money. I use one person as an example, a man that I know, and his wife. I work with his wife. The guy works at a gas station. He doesn't own the gas station. Another Muslim owned the gas station. And he is at the time, I said he was making $14 an hour, but that's about what they make now. Back then, it was way less. I think he maybe was making like about $10, $11 an hour. And his wife was making about 20, as an RN was making about $25 to $28 an hour. But the Quran is saying that a man is inferior to a woman because of the he give the woman wealth. He give the woman wealth. So you see, that doesn't even make no sense. He give the woman wealth, and that's why he's superior to the he take care of the woman from his wealth, and this is one of the reasons he's superior. Let's read it. Men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So you're superior to your wife because you are spending for maintenance from your wealth. But what about the woman who have more money than you? Huh? I remember when my brother came to the state, his wife have more money than him. His wife have more money than him. So was his wife inferior to him in Allah's book? No. Could never be, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You don't find that kind of stuff in the Bible, that you are inferior to your wife because your wife is inferior to you because of what you spend on her. No. None is inferior. He said, husband, love your wife like you love yourself. If you love yourself, your wife like you love yourself, how is your wife inferior to you? Okay, so let's continue to see what this Abdul is saying, and we will continue to look at it. Let me see if anybody is here, because last time my sister wanted to come on and I didn't see her. So my brother says, nothing about this new religion is true, New religion is true according to evidence. That's so true. So he's speaking. Kenny wants to speak without evidence. That's how Kenny is. And his evidence is frivolous stuff that he take from pamphlets. No, we speak from the Quran and we speak from the Hadith. So we're going to continue and see where this guy is diving.
Don't own the gas station is a bit far-fetched. Matter of fact,
and do you see how crazy he is? He acts as if I said there is no Muslim that own gas station. I was talking about a specific Muslim. And do you see I close my eyes because it really, really bothered me to see a grown man behave like that. You're a grown man, but you're behaving like a child. You're behaving, you can't even represent what people say in their face. And this is a video that is recorded, and you cannot represent what people say rightly. This is how deceptive this guy is. You got to be deceptive. If you cannot represent what people say correctly, and it's a video, you will see this is how deceptive he is.
I know a number of Muslim brothers who own their own gas stations and their own businesses. One owns a jewelry store.
I know many Muslims who own a whole bunch of stuff. That's not what it was all about. I'm not here to put Muslim down. This is what this guy is selling, as if I'm here to put Muslim down. This is about Islam. This is not about an individual person. The only reason I use that guy is because the guy worked in a gas station. He does work in a gas station. He doesn't own the gas station. He works in the gas station. His wife is a nurse. His wife is a nurse. I know other Muslims whose wife are nurses and they make more money than they do make. Do you see? Doesn't even make any sense at all what he's saying, because he's not representing what I say. So his idea is to go on the attack from the beginning and to be unfair to the person who came on. And then at the end, when I say something, he gonna push you back and say you're disrespect. The biggest disrespect is to tell a lie on a person. That's one of the biggest verbal disrespect you can ever do. Verbal disrespect, you could say to you, go ahead, you N-word, this and that. But that's not disrespect to me. I'll laugh at the person calling me the N-word. Like, what is wrong with you, man? You're living in the dark age and I'm gone. But you say you're a liar. You know, you calling a person a liar, especially if you can prove. Because a man in his conscience could say, you know what, I didn't say the things right. But if you listen to this whole conversation, where did I ever indicate that Muslims don't own stuff? Some of the richest men in the world are Muslims. Literally. Some of the richest men in the world are Muslims. Literally. That's literally. So when the guy, you see, he didn't plan to represent. He planned to listen with his ego and with Islam in his head, and not with his ear that Jesus gave to him. Do you see? This is what happened to people when they disrespect the Messiah and put a 7th century caravan robber above the Messiah. This is what happened. Because what the Messiah says, do unto others as you like them to do unto you. In the first place, you would not hear me saying that, oh, you said this when you didn't say it. And this is what you see, misrepresenting what I say. As if I say that there is Muslim who don't have anything. Man, there's Muslim owning all kind of store. Corner store. The corner store up there is owned by a Muslim. The one down there is owned by a Muslim. Most of the corner store here are owned by Muslims.
So these brothers do indeed own their own businesses.
And where did I say that Muslims don't own their own business? But I'm saying that this specific Muslim don't own the business. Another Muslim that used to play soccer with us own the business. Do you see? This specific Muslim does not own the business. The Muslim who owns the business is from Ethiopia. The one who is working there is from Eritrea. Do you see how this guy is senseless, man? Because his idea is not to come here and represent truth. His idea is to represent lies.
And
May
so,
I, inter- may I
do some. Bear with me. Do
no,
some
no,
of
no.
them.
I want to stop you
Do some
before
of them.
and do you see? When I want to stop him because I realize that he's not saying what I say, he didn't want you to stop him. And this is the thing about it. It's like, it's a bear with me. I don't like that. If you are saying something and the person have an objection, I listen to your talk, but then the person have an objection, let the person talk, because at the end of the day, you're misrepresenting the person. You're not telling the truth. You're lying, and that's why you give me your pamphlets. If your pamphlets is anything like if your pamphlets is a lie, and I know your pamphlets is a lie, because we have the Quran and the Hadith to prove that your pamphlet is a lie. You're actually misrepresenting what I said.
No, I'm not misrepresenting.
Yes, you are. You are misrepresenting.
Okay,
And he knows.
well,
do you see how disloyal he is? He knows he's misrepresenting what I say. Totally misrepresenting. But he said, no, I'm not misrepresenting what you say. And this is a recorded thing. This is recorded. This is how devious, low grade this guy is. This guy is low grade, man. Low grade. When you're talking about diesel fuel, this is the guy is the lowest grade. This guy got kerosene oil in him. Kerosene in the. This guy is just kerosene oil. He's not gasoline for a car. He's kerosene oil. Pretending to be gasoline. He's not right. This guy is not right in his mind. He's not right. You tell lie so much that lie become you. When you lie so much, then lie automatically becomes you. You just continue to lie, and you don't care how much you lie. Listen to him.
Okay, hold on. Don't interrupt me, Olga. I didn't interrupt you at all. Okay, do not interrupt me. So what we'll do is we're gonna go ahead and go to the time.
And did you remember that he said he didn't interrupt me at all? Yes, he did interrupt me. This guy is not the guy that you would trust at all. In no situation, you should not trust this guy. He interrupted me. I was talking. He said, "You've been talking." He stopped me. And at the end of the way, I think that is enough for me to interrupt him, because he misrepresent me like what, 2 or 3 times already. So I'm stopping him in his track like, dude, that's not what I said. So you notice what he do? He go for the time. He went for the time. And one time he talked for like about 6 minutes. He talked for like almost 3 minutes before he put the timer on. And then he talked for 3 minutes, and then almost another minute before he finished talking. Because this is who this guy is. He cannot change. They said you can take a cow to the water, but you can't let a cow drink the water. You could tell him all about himself, but you can't allow him to change. And this woman that he have with him on this panel is an enforcer. I remember I was in the marketplace in Jamaica one time, and this woman was shouting, "Upholding mother, death." When they say upholding, it means that you are encouraging your children to do wrong. And then she's shouting death. She's saying death. And she was like a church lady. So she was warning people to stop upholding their children to be the way the children are, because they lead to their death. This guy here, the woman on his channel, whatever her name is, what's her name? Katrina Katrina Rahman is upholding his behavior, because you're gonna see how she come on, and you're gonna see how she make him feel comfortable in his deception.
Okay, because I don't want to interrupt you, and nor do I want you to interrupt
me.
So I will go to the timer.
I'm the kind of man.
Please
do not interrupt me. Show, because what?
Please do not interrupt me, Olga.
You're misrepresenting.
Please do not interrupt me. I have 3 minutes. That's what I'm going to utilize. Please do not interrupt me. You made comments suggesting that Muslim men.
He got 3 minutes again. He just finished talking, and he have 3 minutes again. How long have you been talking? Cannot be fair. This guy cannot be fair. He cannot be fair. Why? Because what? He have no spirit of truth in him. Nothing in him that have appealed to his conscience and said, chill out, bro. I'm a man, and I'm rugged, like a very rugged man, rugged around the edges, and you will see that in me, you know. And but you will never see this kind of behavior. He talk for like what, about 3 something minutes, and then he start the clock again to start talk again, because this is where he started to feel himself. He started from the beginning. He started to feel himself because he realized that something, the conversation is not going to go the way he wanted.
Men are working in the gas station while the women are not.
Do you see what he said? Muslim men are working in the gas station. Where did I say anything about no Muslim men? Where did I say anything about a plural, Muslim men? Where did I say anything about a Muslim man? You go back, you will see I say nothing about no Muslim men. Nothing at all about Muslim men. A guy, I know a Muslim guy, a Muslim man, whose wife is a nurse making this and this and that, and he works into a gas station. That's what I said. But he says, I say Muslim men because this guy is a deceiver. This guy is a deceiver, and that's why he's giving you pamphlets. He wants you to read pamphlets because the pamphlet he believes will cover up the lies of the Quran. Just like he's trying to cover up what I say with his deception. That is what this guy is about. This guy will never tell truth. Never, ever. As long as he lives, this guy will never tell the truth because this is what this guy is. A deceiver. Total deception. You know, and this guy have so much hatred in him, like a whole bunch of hatred just boiling over. Every time he open his mouth and call you an Islamophobe, that is hatred. Because what? He hates Islam more, and he hate the truth. That's why he's making up lies.
Nurses, and in some instances that very well.
Where did I say nurses? I never mentioned the plural men, and I never mentioned nurses. I said, I know a man. In that video, I say, I know a Muslim guy or a man. One person and one wife, one and his wife. But you say Muslim man, because what? He is so he got this phobia, this fear of people talking, irrational fear of people speaking the truth, and irrational fear of listening to the truth, irrational fear of representing the truth.
Might be the case. Matter of fact, Sister Katerina happens to be a nurse, but her husband.
And what does that have to do with anything that I've said? Sister Katerina happened to be a nurse. Katerina is a liar. Literally a liar. I bet if you check that lady out, she said she have a master degree. Is there something like that what she says? She said she have a master degree. You know, if it's not master or bachelor degree, I'm sure she it's you know, I don't want to misrepresent her, but what I heard her say, she said she have a master degree in nursing. That's what I heard her say. But I don't want to misrepresent her. It could be that she said a bachelor degree. But I think I heard her say a master, and I actually put up the word NP. A master degree is a nurse practitioner degree. In nursing, if you have a master degree in nursing, is either you are a nurse educator or a nurse practitioner. And that girl is no nurse practitioner. And I for real, I could bet on that. She cannot present a nurse practitioner license. But I think she said she have a master degree in nursing. But it could be that she said bachelor degree and I heard wrong. But I think I heard her say a master degree, and as soon as she said it, let me show you if where I wrote NP, because NP means nurse practitioner. I put the abbreviation right here. If you guys look right here, you see where I put you are NP, I can bet you are lying. Did you see me where I say that? You are MP, I can bet you are lying. So anyway, let me see if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing here, because you may be not seeing what I'm seeing. You're right there. You see where I said you are an NP, I can bet you are lying. But yeah, that's what you're right, my brother. I just searched the title of the video on YouTube, and there are 4 copies of the video on 4 different channels. That's what they do. If you notice what he did, the topic, the title that he gave it, he did not want it to go to the end, and you could tell that he didn't want it to go to the end because it was going to be bitter for him, you know. But anyway, let's continue to see what this Muslim says.
There's actually works in the computer tech industry, and he makes very good money. And so that's their personal business about who makes.
And who care about that? That's not what we were talking about. I said I know a Muslim guy who worked in a gas station making like $14 an hour. I think that's what I say, $14 an hour. You know, but when I think about it, I'm thinking about now. Back then, it wasn't $14 an hour. It was about $10 to $11 an hour. At the time, RN were making like $25 to $28 an hour. Not now. They make way more than that now. But what I'm saying, this lady was making more than he was making. But according to the Quran, one of the reasons that the men are above the woman is because they spend of their property for the support of women. What about all these doctors? There's a lot of Muslim doctors here who are women. What about all these Muslim doctors who are women, but their husband doesn't make that kind of money that they make? There is a lot of women, Muslim women, who are making more money than their male counterpart. But guess what? According to the nonsense of the Quran, the reason a man is superior to his wife is because they spend of their property on them. So who was this Quran for? People of the 7th century. This Quran is not for modern people. This Quran is from a naive source, and it's not for modern people. In the Bible, it says, wives, submit yourself to your husband. And then the same Bible, in the same area, it says, husband, love your wife like you love yourself. Or love your wife like Christ loved the church and give his life for her. That is pure love right there. Equality. Love your wife like you love yourself. You don't love yourself more. You shouldn't love yourself more than you love your wife. But when you see this craziness, what he's saying to you, because you spend your money on a woman, you are above the woman. And what you should do to the woman? Listen what he says you should do to the woman. As those from whom you fear rebellion, admonish them and banish them to beds apart. That means don't sleep with them, don't have no sex with them. Can the woman do you the same thing? No, the woman cannot do you the same thing. So what is happening? There is no equality there. Why do I know that the woman cannot do you the same thing? Because what Muhammad says. Listen to this, what Muhammad says. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah Apostle said, if a husband call his wife to his bed, that is to have sexual relation, and she refuses and cause him to sleep in anger, then the angels will curse her till morning. Yeah. No, we got to get that donkey, man. We got to get that donkey. We got to get that donkey, man. You cannot have a show like this without the donkey. You cannot have a show like this without the donkey. The donkey have to be present in a show like this. We cannot have a show as important as this show and without having the donkey in the show. We have to have the donkey representing what's going on here. Because this is a donkey religion. This is not something that is good for no humankind. I love the Muslims, but this is not good for us, anybody at all. If you follow this kind of stuff, you're demeaning and women. You are in the business of demeaning women. So let's see what this religion did do. That's what this religion deserves. And let me show you something that my brother Tyler B says. I don't know if Tyler B want to come on the show. You know, listen what he says. Why aren't men required to cover their hair? how come Islam only commands women to do so? And why? Why are women covering their hair? Because Umar told Muhammad to cover his wife. Then all of a sudden, Muhammad claimed he get a revelation to cover women. But before that, the God didn't care about covering women. And why did Umar told Muhammad to cover women? Because Umar saw Sada, one of Muhammad's wife, going to the toilet. So you see, this is the religion. This is the religion, the crazy religion. So let me see if my brother wanna up on here and see if you wanna up on. If you wanna up on, he can come on. You know, put the link so anybody of reputation wanna come on, they can come on. Anyway, we don't treat anybody like Kenny Boomer wanna treat people here. But anyway, let's show you what. Okay, come on, my brother. Let me show you what something really fast. Let's go back to the video because we are seeing that he is misrepresenting what I say because Kenny doesn't have a mind for the truth. He does not have a mind for the truth, and he never will. He never will have a mind for the truth because that's not the kind of guy that guy is.
What? But that's very xenophobic and a bit racist and bit.
Do you see? That's disrespectful because you're calling me racist when at the same time I said nothing racist. But then when I say something, I think I says Muhammad baby wife or child wife, and he quickly to put me to the back. But he forget that he promised that it would be no muting. This is how deceptive this guy is, man. So what's up, my brother?
What is up? Why did he call you racist again?
He called me racist because you know the Quran says. I'm glad you are on because it make it more interesting. You know the Quran says one of the reasons the man is superior to the woman is because the man take care of the woman with his wealth. He support the woman. So I'm saying that the women are making more money than men. Yes, there was a time when my wife made more money than I do. Do you see? You know, there was a time when I took I worked too much and I took sabbatical off work for like what was it, 8 months? My wife will tell you, like about 8 months or maybe more. And my wife was working because I came here like an idiot, just working like I didn't have any sense. So I said, man, I need to recuperate. My body feel like it. So I did not go to work. I just, hey, I'm chilling out. And my wife was working. She's the one making the money. But at the end of the day, how could I say that I'm above my wife when she's the one making money?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess it's because back then women, I mean, I guess there were some women who made money, but mostly it was, men doing it. So I guess that proves that the Quran and the Hadith is a product of their time and not the eternal word of God, because it doesn't apply to all of history.
Man, see, that's the wisdom, bro. And that's what I was selling, that this Quran could never be from God Almighty. It was a product of the time to govern people in the time. And that was Muhammad's manipulation to keep people in check. So at the end of the day, you will see what he is doing, calling me racist, because I said, I know a guy who, a Muslim guy who work at a gas station making $14 an hour. And to be real with you, he was actually making less than $14 because that was years ago. And his wife was making 25 to $28 an hour. So how is the Quran right in regard to that? So guess what he do? He started attacking me as if I was talking about all Muslim men.
I mean, even if you were, Islam is not a race, so
Right.
it doesn't make any sense.
And see how crazy he is. And then look at it again, my friend. Look at it again. One of my favorite doctor in the world that I know as a nurse is a Muslim man. So I couldn't say put all Muslim man in the same bunch. One of my favorite doctor I know is a Muslim man. So how could I just bunch all Muslim? This guy is a liar, and he doesn't have the mind to speak the truth. He take what you say and twist it his way because he doesn't have the mind to speak the truth. And as we go along and watch this video, you will see that nothing he say represent nothing I said. And this, look how long he been talking without me getting a chance to talk.
Xenophobic thing to say. But again, you made comments about if people lived under Islamic rule, that the prisons would be filled with people who are accused of beating their wives and so forth. Well, guess what, OG?
And that's not what I say either. That's not what I say, my brother. That's not what I say. I didn't say if people live under Islamic rule. I said if people were to follow the Quran and the Hadith and live here in America under American rule. If I say Islamic rule, I must have made a mistake. But I remember me saying no Islamic rule. I said if people are living here in America under American law and following what the Quran said to beat your wife, guess what? And follow the hadith that women are inferior and the mind of a woman is inferior to that of a man. Guess what? The jails would be filled of Muslim men here if they were to follow the Quran and beat their wife. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, that's just factually correct. You can't really say that's racist or xenophobic. And I don't understand why I mean, Islam is not a race. It's not a nationality. So even if you did say what he claimed you said, even if you were talking about all Muslims, how is that xenophobic? There's Muslims in America. Like, obviously, you can tell by his accent, he's born in America. He sounds like he's from somewhere in the South. So, like, what? How is that xenophobic when there's Muslims who are born in America?
He's from Texas. So
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, my brother. But this is what when he said I should come on, I think about it for a while, and my little son is not feeling so good. So I was saying that, you know what, I don't think I should come on, go onto this guy channel, But then I said, you know what, it's a long time I've talked to him. I hope he changed. But this guy cannot change. As I say, you can't pet a viper snake. You see what I'm saying? We're always gonna come back and bite you, man.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and when you look at it, he started attack me first because from the beginning of his speech, he started attacking me. After I speak, all his conversation was under attack. But let me tell you, I'm different. I if I'm gonna say something about you, I'm not saying it passively. I'm saying it actively so that you could see that I'm saying what I'm saying because I'm not a snake. But you notice how passive he is. He's attacking me and he's lying on me. But if I should say to him, like, Kenny, you're lying, guess what? He would have mute me and put me to the back like he did all through the video. Like, most of the video, I was at the back.
Oh, dang.
He put me to the back. But you know what? I stayed there because I said, you know what? I want to make certain points. And each time I come, I reveal him more. And you will see how, when at these, because I'm going to make about 3 videos from this, because I'm going to talk about the lady on the video too. I'm going to show you how you got to be careful. As a man, you got to be very, very careful because you could be led astray by a woman. And as a woman, you got to be very, very careful because you could be led astray by a man. Sometimes you just got to be very, very, very careful. who you listen to, whose advice you take, because some people are not here to give you sound advice. They're actually here to keep you into a trap, to make you walk into a trap. So as we go on, we're gonna see it's just total attack.
Here in the United States, and I'm sure in Jamaica where you are, or wherever you're at, I forgot where you're at, but I'm sure that's the case there as well in these Christian nations, the so-called Christian nations. The penitentiaries are full of people who have murdered their spouses, who have been accused of domestic violence. Some of them are guilty. Some are.
Okay, my brother, do you see where we go? He says, okay, the penitentiaries here are full of women, men who murder their wives, and they murder, and some are guilty and some are not guilty. But the difference, that what this guy don't know, is that America is a big country, very, very, very big country, and America report whatever goes on. You know, if you go to the courthouse right now, legal documents, certain legal documents are free for you to go look at. You could go look at his criminal record. You could look up his criminal record if he does have one, because I see people showing his criminal record, which I wouldn't do, but I've seen people showing his criminal record. But the reason you could do that, because America is a free place, an open place. It's more free and open than a lot of places in the world. But when it comes to some of these countries where Muslims live in, you don't know how many crimes commit in their country. Because what? Beating your wife in a Muslim country because of the Quran is normal. So when a man beat his wife, guess what? It doesn't go to the court. It does not go to the court when you beat your wife, because it's a Quran order to beat your wife. I'm telling you a true story. And if this lady should come on, if this lady should be listening, I think this time it's late in her country. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning in her country. But if this lady should tell the truth, one day I was talking to her a long time ago, maybe about 6 years ago, I was talking to her. And she lives in a place called Marsabit in Kenya. And I heard a woman screaming, my brother. And Marsabit is a mostly Muslim area. I heard a woman screaming so bad, and she started to laugh. The lady who I was talking to, laughing. And I said to her, I said, what's going on? I was at work. And I said, what's going on? She said, the neighbor beating his wife.
Oh. I
said, you should have heard the lady, how she was screaming. The lady, the neighbor beating his wife. Could you do that in America? No. And the lady screaming like that? Somebody take up their phone, my brother, and you're gone.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like that. Yeah, I mean, in most Western countries, yeah, you definitely could not get away with that. I mean, that's...
And guess what? He got away with that.
Man.
Tyler B, he got away with it to the point where the woman is laughing. The woman who I'm talking to is laughing.
That's sad.
Yes, and I put her in her place. I said, didn't you go to Kenyatta University? She said, what are you talking about? She was like, this and that. I said, you go to that university, which is mostly Western education, and you laughing to hear a woman get beat up like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is tragic.
And guess what? She actually said, is my Muslim neighbor beating his wife?
Yeah.
That's what she says. My Muslim neighbor beating his wife.
Man.
Yeah.
Well.
So when this guy is talking, I know what I'm talking from experience, like what I know. And I've seen several other cases where men burn their wife, men do this to their wife, men do all kind of stuff in Muslim country. But the difference is the things that Muslim men can get away doing unreported in their country, if they were doing the same thing in the Western America or even Jamaica, their butt will be going to jail.
Yep. I mean, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you have neighbors and they, you're gone. The majority of your neighbors are not going to tolerate that.
No. Tyler, I'm telling you, my brother, you should have hear the woman was screaming. And then guess what the lady said to me? Because she live around these Muslims. She said, if you don't beat me, you don't love me.
What? What the heck? That's weird.
The woman who I was talking to say, if you don't beat me, you don't love me. You see? So these worlds that they live in, you could beat women and get away with it. In America, guess what? Somebody just call 911 and guess what? Boom, 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 boom. Your door knocking. And they will even kick off your door and come in there if they hear that woman screaming the way I heard that woman screaming. And they come in here, guess what? You're gone. Your nursing license is gone. Everything, you're doomed. And that's why I was telling him. But guess what he took it and turned? He turned it into me saying that if it was under Islamic rule. No, I said if it was under American rule, if Muslim were to follow the Quran and the Hadith here in America, under American rule, American law and legislation, a lot of Muslims would be in jail. And that's true. If you're going to beat, the Quran said to beat your wife, Surah 4, verse 34. If you follow that, guess what? You're in jail. Then guess what he did? He run off, and you will see as we continue, and he read the Quran from a clear Quran, because they cover up, from the cover up Quran, where he says that it means to beat, to what? Discipline her lightly.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Like I've heard like didn't Zachary Knight say that meant that you like figuratively like you like slap lightly or something like that, like you slap like give five something like that. I heard something like that from Zachary Knight. I was like, wait, what?
And that's a lie. That's a lie. You know why we know that it's a lie? You will see as we continue to discuss, my brother.
Are not guilty. Nevertheless, the institutions are filled with these individuals in these so-called Christian nations. Okay, so
and there is nothing called a so-called Christian nation. No nation is Christian.
That's true.
An individual is Christian. No nation is Christian.
Yeah, I mean, no nations today follow the Bible. Like
yes.
they don't follow what the Bible
yes.
teaches. You know.
And there is no governmental, or should I say, political law like Sharia law in Christianity.
Exactly.
Right. So when you're talking about under Muslim rule, there is nothing called under Christian rule. You rule your own household under a Christian rule. You rule your own self under a Christian rule. There is no government that is under a Christian rule. There is government that is built upon certain things from the Christian perspective, but and because they are built around Christianity, then you find that certain things is fear. You know, like for example, in America, you can't just beat your wife like that because of Christian principle. You know, a lot of things are based on Christian principles.
Suggest that it's a religion that is the cause of these things versus the failures of mankind to follow their religion properly. You know, that's very very xenophobic, very Islamophobic thing.
And do you notice that he never represent what I say? I never say that it's a religion of Islam cause anything. I just say if Muslims are to follow the Quran and the Hadith in America, they would have gone to jail by the numbers. And that's true. That is totally true. If they were supposed to follow the Quran, as the Quran tells them to beat their wife, there would be a lot of Muslim men in jail.
To suggest, making blanket generalizations. But again, you say you got this information from the Quran, but on the contrary, the Quran is obviously you don't understand the Quran. And I bring this up because I studied what's called analytical tafsir. This means analytical interpretation of the Quran through Mishka University.
And let me tell you something now, my brother. Do you notice what he say? Analytical tafsir. Did you know the Quran say it is the best tafsir? The Quran is the best tafsir.
I did not know that.
Yes. Let me show you, my brother. The Quran says it is the best tafsir. So why does it need tafsir?
That's a good point.
If the Quran is the best tafsir, the Quran doesn't need any tafsir. Let me read it for you, my brother, to show you. Two verses you could use. Quran 25 verse 33 says, let me show you. Let me find it for you and read it for you. Because what you find from these Muslims, they're trying to reinvent Islam after Muhammad. They come up with the tafsirs and stuff. But the Quran says it is the best tafsir. So when I'm telling you what your Quran says and you're gonna go to a tafsir, that means you're denying your Quran. You have a fear of your Quran. Listen this. And they, this is Surah 25 verse 33. And they do not come to you with an argument except that we bring up the truth and the best explanation. You see what I'm saying? And they do not come to you with an argument except we bring up, who is we? Allah. Except we bring up the truth and the best explanation. So tafsir, whose tafsir, whose explanation is the tafsir, not Allah.
Wait, so Allah is we?
Yes. Allah is we.
Huh, plural pronoun for Allah. That's interesting.
But let me tell you, man. Remember Muhammad tried to give them 3 additional gods? You ever heard about the satanic verses?
I haven't.
Muhammad tried to give them 3 additional gods. And then he said that Satan put the revelation on his tongue.
Oh, okay. So he got revelation from both Satan and God. Interesting.
Yes. So, but then you find all these we, us, ourselves. Even the word hears, Heirs. Can you imagine that, my brother? Allah is the ears. Allah is the ears. Heirs. I don't have a problem with Allah being a hear because the Bible says God is the ear. God inherit Israel. So I don't have a problem with Allah being an ear, but Allah is the ears. Heirs. Plural. And remember, he tried to give them 3 additional gods. So secretly, these gods are still in Islam. They're still there because all these we, these ourselves, us. We know why God speaks in a plural form in the Bible because God is a multi-personal being according to the Bible. But what about this Unitarian being speaking with so much pluralistic way? But anyway, so this is Surah 25 verse 33 that says, and they do not come to you with an argument except that we bring you the truth and the best explanation. So the Quran, the truth and the best explanation that we, Allah, bring is the Quran. Now we go to the other verse. Which is Surah 29 verse 23. So if you go to Surah 29 verse 23 and you look it up, what it says, Allah has sent down the best statement, a consistent book wherein there is reiteration. So you see, the best statement, this translation said the best statement, but if you look at it elsewhere, it actually put it even better. Why is he running to tafsir when I'm telling him it's Quran? Because what? He have to use something to cover up what the Quran actually says.
Exactly.
Yes. And we sent down the best discourse. So this is the best discourse. And another one says, and Allah sent down the fairest discourse. And sent down all the most beautiful of our teachings. So if it's the most beautiful of our teachings, why are you running to another teaching from somewhere else? other than the Quran. To interpret the best teaching, you have to run to another source.
Interesting.
Do you see? And if you look at the word in when it says explanation, the best explanation, if you look it up, it means tafsir in Arabic. The best tafsir. That's actually what he's saying. So you see what I'm saying, my brother. So you run into tafsir. I studied the tafsir and I do this the tafsir. I don't have to study the tafsir to see that your Quran says you can beat a woman.
Yep.
For the sole purpose of understanding what each and every verse of the Quran is saying. And we covered.
Do you see? He had to study an external source to see what each and every verse of the Quran is saying. You each and every verse you have to study. How is the Quran the best statement and the best teaching? If some external source have to tell you what the Quran means.
Yeah, they got to reinterpret it so that it sounds better.
Yes, because they found out that this God is not sufficient for them. It's not sufficient for them, so they have to reinvent this God. They have to reinvent this God to make him make sense. They have to come up with all these tafsir and all this stuff. The Quran said, beat your wife. The translator said, beat your wife. So the translator don't know Arabic.
Yeah, exactly.
Sahih International, strike them. Strike and beat is the same thing.
Surah Nisa and the issue of women extensively in every one of these verses. And in every one of these verses, in this Muslim institution now, the driving factor, the driving point that was being driven home through every bit of that course was that regarding women is the equality between men and women in Islam.
Do you notice what he relying on? A course that he do. And you will see that this guy is so vain, because if I'm having an argument with you or a talk with you, a conversation, and I'm relying on my nursing ability to discard what you know, like you know that babies come from pregnancy and all this story stuff, but then I'm telling you opposite of what you already know, even though you are not a nurse and I am a nurse. If I am telling you opposite of what you already know, that babies come from pregnancy, guess what? Don't care how many school I go to, I'm an idiot.
Yep, exactly.
I'm an idiot. If I come to you and I tell you that the sperm of a man have nothing to do with childbirth, and you read that from you were a kid going to high school, that sperm have to do with childbirth, and I'm a nurse, don't care how many school I go to, I could have gone to Ohio University, I could have gone to Michigan State University, I could have gone to Eastern Kentucky University, I could have gone to the best school, Princeton and Harvard. I'm a donkey.
Exactly. Yeah.
Straight up, I am a donkey. Yep. If I am telling you other than what it is in the book. If I go to a nursing textbook, like say anatomy and physiology book, and I see inside the anatomy and physiology book that there is visceral muscle, there's striated muscle, and there is smooth muscle, and I come to you telling and cardiac muscle, and I tell you there is no cardiac muscle, I'm a liar and a donkey.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, having degrees, I mean, of course it's not irrelevant, but it does not make you right. That is for certain. I have definitely observed that.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people like him believe, that because he write a book and I write 2 books, he's more knowledgeable on things than anybody. I write poetry book, not never been published, but I wrote book before. If I write right now, if I maybe want my what they call it, all the documents, my papers that I wrote, the rough work that I wrote, I could maybe get it from the person whose home I leave it at. But at the end of the day, bro, that doesn't mean that I'm a better poet than you. And I know more about poetry than another person because I write some poems. That's illogical. He's always, I'm an author of this, consider this, I'm this, and consider Islam and do this. I always laugh at him when I see that stuff because what? Anybody could be an author and Christian book, but is he telling the truth?
Yep.
Doesn't make no sense. Doesn't make no sense, my brother.
How Islam broke down the oppression of women in the period of Jahiliyyah, the age of ignorance before the Prophet began receiving revelation of the Quran.
And that's a lie. And I show him from the Hadith, and guess what he's going to do? He's going to say the Hadith may not be authentic and all this stuff. Bro, I show him from the Hadith that that's a lie. And it's not only that Hadith alone, my brother. It's not only that Hadith alone. If the Quran is telling you can beat your wife, what kind of society is that? And then guess what Aisha says? And what Aisha says is even more damaging after all that. Listen to what Aisha says. And this is Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 7, book 72, number 715. Aisha is saying that a woman I'm just paraphrasing right here, because you could look it up yourself. Anybody could look it up here. Aisha is saying that a woman came to her and complained about her husband beating her. And Aisha said she showed her a green spot on her skin caused by beating. I'm actually quoting Aisha. And show her a green spot. I'm quoting the hadith. And show her a green spot on her skin caused by beating. And this is what I'm going to quote Aisha. Listen this, and you will see that it's a lie about Islam make a change. That's a lie. Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes. So Aisha said that to Muhammad. And to show you the kind of man that Muhammad was, that Muhammad was not a very intelligent person and should never be in the role of a leader, but he was a naive person, because even I and anybody with any form of sense have more sense than Muhammad. So the man said to Muhammad, she has lied. So the woman said the reason she wants to leave him is because he's impotent. You know what impotent means?
That means you're not able to get a woman pregnant, right?
And not only that, you're not able to get aroused. You can't.
Oh, okay.
You don't have no erection.
Okay,
you can.
Yeah.
You may be creating sperm, but you don't have an erection.
Okay.
You're flaccid. So
okay.
So he said, and you're right. Impotence could cover all that. Can't get a woman pregnant and stuff. But the biggest part of it is that you cannot get you cannot be aroused. He said, I am very strong and I can satisfy her. So his erection, she need to be satisfied. So that's the biggest part of her impotence, is that you cannot get erection. But she is disobedient and want to go back to Rafia. So she was married before. And this man is saying that she is disobedient and want to go back to her first husband. So Allah's apostle said to her, if that is your intention, then know that it is unlawful for you to remarry Rafia unless Abu Rahman had sexual intercourse with you. Do you see the stupidity of Muhammad?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and is this from you said it's from Sahih al-Bukhari. That's an authentic one, right? Is that what they say?
It's totally authentic, even though he's going to claim that this is not authentic, but it is authentic. It is authentic. And these Muslims think that Muhammad did a justice. And some of them have, if you look at some of these videos, you see where these Muslim imam and these Muslim sheikh is actually praising Muhammad for what he did here. As if he is justice, he used justice and deal with this case. But look what happened. So say, for example, I'm using you as an example. I know God gonna bless you because you're such intelligent young man, and God gonna bless you with
you.
the kind of wife that you really deserve, bro. Just don't rush nothing. But listen,
Okay.
listen what happened. So here we go. You're married to this woman, and you divorce the woman. So and the day, and then you go live with another man, another woman. Sorry, another woman. You go live with another woman, and you realize like, wow, I make a mistake. I leave my wife. I shouldn't have left my wife and come and live this woman. So you go and marry another woman, but you realize that, wow, I shouldn't have done what I done. She was not unfaithful to me. Why did I do that? According to Muhammad, you cannot go back to your wife until you have sex with this new wife that you have. So you can't leave. You can't leave the new wife without defiling her. You can't say, hey, I make a mistake. I got to go back to my wife that I my childhood bride, my wife that I love so much. I'm not going to defile you. I'm just going to want to go back to my wife. You can't say that. The woman have to have sex with the man that she married before she can go back to her first husband.
Well, that's interesting.
Do you see that? Do you see? That's what he says. Then the prophet, look, and then here is another stupidity that Muhammad got himself caught up into. Then the prophet saw two boys with Abu Rahman and Abdurrahman and asked him, are these your son? And that Abu Rahman said, yes. The prophet said, you claim what you claim. Said to the woman, you claim what you claim, that he is impotent. But by Allah, these boys resemble him as a crow resembles a crow. Isn't that stupid? Listen, why I say he's stupid. Listen to this. And when Abu Rahman heard that his wife had gone to the prophet, he came with his two sons from another wife. He came with two sons from another wife. But how old are these sons? If these sons are 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, he could still be impotent, as she claimed. You see what I'm saying, my brother?
You know, you notice a lot of interesting stuff. I've never noticed any of this stuff in the Quran.
And this is from the Hadith.
Okay, Hadith.
Yes. Yeah, this is from the Hadith.
I haven't read any of the. I've read some of the Quran. I haven't read any of the Hadiths though.
This is the Quran is interesting, but the Hadith it shows you that Muhammad was an idiot, because that's his ruling. See, the Quran is something that he made up, and according to historical sources, many people help him to make it up. But this here is straight from his head and his action. So you could see that he wasn't a very intelligent person, because what? I have a son right now, and he's a young boy, but that doesn't mean, and he's not even 2-year-old yet, because me and my wife, we have a son at our older age, when we in our 40s. But at the end of the day, my friend, not because I have my son 18, 19, almost 19 months ago, that doesn't mean that I'm not impotent right now.
Exactly, yeah.
So you see, Muhammad ruling was based on stupidity.
Yeah, exactly.
Based on stupidity. And guess what? Where is his ruling on the man beating the woman until the woman is black and blue? Because when you say green, that's what we call black and blue.
Oh, it is?
Yes. When you said her skin was green, it's caused from a bruise. And that's in America, we call that black and blue.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I thought, green, that's
it's just,
but yeah, I assumed it was some sort of bruising though.
Yeah, that's just cultural. And in real science, my brother, Aisha is very observant. In real science, it would become almost green, like a yellowish, greenish color after it's old, not when it's new. When it's new, it's purple, dark purple. When it's older, getting close, like when it's like 5 to a week, 5 days to a week, the color start changing into a greenish color, like a greenish yellowish color.
Yeah.
So she observed and she know what she's talking about. So this is not no joke. And then she said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women.
Oh.
So, but do you see what the Abdul, the Abdul from Texas is saying? That
the Abdul from Texas. Yeah.
Do you see what he's saying? That in Jalaliya, that means before the Muhammad, women were suffering like crazy. But what did Aisha say? I have not seen any women suffering as much as the believing women. What does that say to you? That the people around Muhammad have more etiquette and more love and more respect for their wife, to the point where they're not beating their wife black and blue.
Exactly.
There is even a deed where a man was beating his wife because she was reading 2 chapters of the Quran during prayer.
Wow. I would not want to be married in the Muslim world. That would not be. It sounds more like a parent-child relationship than a marriage.
Yes, that's true. They're beating up their wife. There's so many hadith about beating their wife, and if it's not in the hadith, my friend, it's in the other works done by Ahmad Al-Wahidi, people like those. They wrote all kind of stuff, people beating up their wife. And then when we look at it, the conversation was about women, equality of men and women in Islam. And we see where he even go as far as, which might be in another look at this, where he says Muhammad never hurt nobody, never hurt a servant, he never hurt whatever. And that's Muhammad himself might never hurt anybody, but Muhammad condoned the hurting of other people.
Yep.
And how do we know that? Ali, one of Muhammad's companion, actually says Aisha did something. I think Aisha did something. And listen what Aisha had. Listen what Ali's advice to Muhammad was. Ali said, women are plentiful, and you can easily change one for the other.
Well, that's interesting.
You see, right? Which woman could tell Aisha, like, men are plentiful and you could easily change one for the other? So you see, there was no right for women, as he said, equal rights, because Muhammad could change. And guess what? There's actually a Quran verse. I think it's Quran 33. Exactly. Yes, verse 50 to 51. That told Muhammad he could do whatever he feel do with any woman. He could put them off and take them on anytime he feel like. Where have you ever seen that kind of stuff in Christianity?
I mean, if you look at the biblical view of marriage, it's just drastically different. You don't have, it says clearly, one man, one woman. You're supposed to have one wife, and you're supposed to love your wife actually, and you're supposed to not equal in terms of, like, obviously the man's supposed to have the leading role, but is equal in terms of, like, human being. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
because he said love your wife as he said love your wife as you love yourself.
Exactly.
That's what he says. Okay, so look at this, my brother. This is the God speaking. O prophet, we made lawful for you all your wives, whom you have given their dowries, and those bond women, mean slave women, whom you own. So lawful for what? To have sex. Out of the captive Allah has given to you as spoil of war, and daughters of your and daughters of your paternal uncle, and daughters of your maternal aunt, and daughters of your maternal uncle, and daughters of your maternal aunt who migrate with you, and believe in whom women who offer themselves for marrying. They put marrying in bracket, but they say who offer themselves for the prophet without dowry. So there is no marrying there, so we don't know if he's married. If the prophet wishes to bring her into his marriage, these rules exclude being exclusive for you. So only for Muhammad, he can get all these women. So Allah was a pimp supplying Muhammad with women.
Yep, exactly. I mean, because that's how that just shows you the Quran and the Hadiths is a product of the 7th century Arab society, because that's how it was back then. And you didn't see, it wasn't like a woman having all these husbands and taking husbands as spoils of war and stuff like that. It's very different.
It is different. And then look what it says. These rule being exclusively for you and not for the rest of the believer. And listen to the reasoning. We know what we know and prescribe for them in respect for their wives and slave girl that they own. So their wives and slave girls. So you see what we are saying, my brother. So you could have sex with your slave girl, because he says prescribe for them for their wives and slave girls. So there should be no difficulty for you. So just because this God don't want Muhammad to have any difficulty with women, he prescribed all these women for Muhammad.
Yep, exactly.
It made no sense.
It doesn't.
It made no sense at all, my brother. Like totally no sense. And this is because what? It's the exploitation of women. That's what Islam is about. Exploitation of women. But listen to him.
Broke down that negative mistreatment of women and does just the opposite. Islam is actually the solution for all these things. And so I'm going to go ahead and let you pick it up from there. You're going to have 3 minutes, and then we'll go back and forth. Okay? So let me take you off mute there. You're on mute right now. So you might have to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I didn't mute you. Okay. But go ahead.
The first thing you do, you misrepresent me. So, and I know this was gonna happen. I know where say stereotype where I said all men, because I have a Muslim friend who own gas station here. I have a Muslim friend who owned like 3 restaurants and a gas station here. So at the end of the day, you're misrepresenting what I say. But I'm saying, according to your Quran, and I'm gonna read a verse from your Quran. So let's read the verse first. Men have authority over women because God has made the one superior to the other, and because they spend their wealth to maintain them. This is your Quran, Surah 4, verse 34. So that's your Quran. But what I was saying was based on your Quran. So I'm saying that what kind of God would make a statement like that when knowing that there's a time when women would be making more money than men make. But I wasn't stereotyping as you claim that I was stereotyping. Another issue that you should look at. You said you go to school and you go to these hadiths and all this stuff regarding interpretation of the Quran, and you're talking about time of Jalaliya, which is the pre-Islamic time. So, but what Aisha is saying in the hadith is that the believing women were suffering more than the unbelieving women. According to Sahih al-Bukhari, Aisha narrated that a woman came to Muhammad where her husband beat her until she was what the color she used, green, literally green. And I know as a nurse what it means to be green, because bruises turn green after a certain time. And what did Muhammad do? Muhammad sent the woman home with the husband after a monkey court without even telling the man not to beat the woman. And Aisha made this statement: I've never seen any woman suffer as much as the believing woman. So I'm saying, and according to your Quran, Muhammad is the perfect example to follow. Surah 33, verse 21. So Muhammad's example was not good. And what we are talking about in today's era, I'm saying if Muslims were to live practicing Islam under the American law and the American system, a lot of them would be in jail. A whole monkey load of them would be in jail. The reason is they would be beating their woman, but because they are in the West and the West law is governing them, that's the only reason they are not locked up in jail. They have to abide by the law here. If they were following Islamic law, they would be in jail.
Okay, so Olga Yates, obviously you are unaware of the fact that worldwide there's more domestic violence in the United States, by example, than any.
Do you see that he's repeating himself, my friend?
Was he about to say in the Muslim countries?
Yes, because he said that already. But
okay.
do you notice that he's not taking into consideration that America does not keep things as secretive as the Muslim world keep things as secretive? A woman being beaten, yes, a woman being beaten is not reported because what is normal for a woman to get beat. Did you see what I was giving you as an example? I said I wish I had that recorded. If I was in the apologetic field as I am now, I would have turned my phone on and recorded. For you to hear that woman she was hollering so loud, you could tell it was not a simple beating. It was not a simple beating. It was something you could hear her like I don't know what to describe it as. Like she was shouting at, in a language, but you don't know if she's shouting for help. You don't know what she's trying to say. You don't know what's going on in her world. You only know that this lady is terrified by what's going on in her life. And the lady on the phone with me is laughing. She said, it happened all the time here. These Muslims, they beat their wife.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would not want to be a woman in any Muslim majority area. That'd be terrifying.
And yes, and then again, if you think I'm lying about anything, my brother, there's a video circulating right now, and I think it's happening in Iran, where a lady, she dressed decently, my brother. The only thing, she did not have the hijab on, and a stranger came and kicked her down, bro.
Wow.
Kick her down. She was fighting back.
You said that was in Iran?
Yes. Let me find the video. I'm gonna find it because we
Yeah, and you're right about the statistics also. Like I saw that Azerbaijan supposedly has like the lowest or one of the lowest rates of domestic violence. Like it's supposedly like 1 out of every 1,000 women getting beat or suffering from domestic violence, but it's because they don't report anything there,
Yes, they don't. Here it is right here. See, as soon as I go on there, it's easy to find. I don't speak nothing, bro, that I cannot support. I hope here's the video. Also, let me show you. Okay, where am I? I got so much stuff up. Okay, here we go. I don't tell. Look, I don't tell lie, man. When everything I speak, that's why I said I create this channel to speak truth. I don't care if it's Muslim truth, I'm gonna speak it. If it's Christian truth, I'm gonna speak it. Look at this. See that? See the woman going down the street? You're gonna see her in a minute. See her? Talking on her phone and going down? Watch this. See that? He kick her down. See that? 2 times he kick her.
Bro.
She fighting back. But, she's a woman. There's no way you can beat a man like that unless you are Rose from MMA. I wish she had kicked Rose. I wish she had kicked. I wish he didn't know it was Rose going down there and kick her.
Oh yeah.
And let him and see what would have happened to him. He would be on the floor bleeding.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see that?
Okay.
Look.
Hmm.
And if you think I'm lying, he says US-based Iranian journalist and political activist Mashe Aline Nijab tweeted that she was being in touch with the 42-year-old woman in the video. The man is national, said the national about a boycott movement in Iran ahead of parliament election, says the police refused to arrest the attacker. See that?
Yeah. Huh.
I said,
Yeah, and it
claim
says that. Yeah.
is involuntarily enforcing moral code. What was wrong with that woman? She wasn't wearing a hijab is mandatory in Iran.
Yeah, but it looked like she was covering her head though, didn't it? Or something.
She got something on her head, but it doesn't cover her face.
Yeah, so that's the problem. Okay, I got you. So wow. So even if you dress, because that was extremely modest, but yeah,
right, right. And if they got the right here in America, that's how they would have kicked American woman.
Yep.
Exactly. If they got the right in America here, that's the same way a guy like him would come here and kick American women, and he would have go and report it. But because the reason they cannot do these things here, my brother, is because American law would never allow them to violate American woman like that.
Yeah, never. Exactly. Yeah, and it's ironic. It's kind of funny we're talking about that. You see my shirt, American shirt.
Yes. Yes. Do you see that, my friend? So this is what, when I said to the guy Kenny Boomer, I said the only reason you don't see a lot of craziness going on here, looking in what is going on in Europe. Do you know that there's a time in Europe, I don't know if it's still happening right now, when majority of the rape in a certain era was done by young Muslim men?
Yeah, I have heard that.
Yes. And raping women. Why? Because they were I think it was a jihad move. I think it was a jihad move. I really do think that, because there's a thing called love jihad. You ever heard about that?
Yeah.
Where they married, where Muslim men married to Christian
non-Muslim women. Yeah, and then convert them. Yeah.
Yes. So you see, and you're talking about equality of women in can a woman married to a Muslim a Christian, can a Muslim woman marry to a Christian woman, a Christian man? No. A Muslim woman cannot marry to a Christian man, but a Muslim man can marry to a Christian woman. So you don't have the same right. You don't have the same right. Don't care which society you live in, you don't have the same right as a man. Don't care what they preach and what they say. This guy is a cover-up and a fake and a fraud. And that's why I know it was just a matter of time before he kicked me off. Because what?
Yep.
I don't listen to crap, man.
Islamic country on this planet. The domestic violence rates and murder rates and so forth far exceed those of Muslim majority countries.
Do you see what he says? And he's lying. He's lying. If you look at the murder rate in like Nigeria, man, and all those places, most of the murder and this stuff, it's a Muslim majority. It depends on where you are and stuff like that. And to be real with you, control the control of society is like, as I say, a person is free to do what you want to do in America, whether it is evil or good. You're free to make a choice to do whether it is evil or good. But at the end of the day, what you do is reported. If I do good, a lot of time is reported, and if I do evil, it's reported and mostly recorded. The evil that you do is recorded. You're not hearing about the Saudi Arabian evil. You're not hearing about it. If we, the Saudi Arabian evil. I'm gonna show you another video, and I don't. There's another video where women. I don't want to show this because I don't know if it's anything about this video where it comes from. But you could look it up yourself. It's a YouTube video. You could just put Kenyan women enslaved in Saudi Arabia, and you will see, yes, where Kenyan women are going to Saudi Arabia to work for a Muslim family, and the men, just like Muhammad, want to have sex with the slave. They call them slaves and want to have sex with them.
Oh yeah, okay. I just looked it up. Yeah, I'm seeing this trapped, exploited, abused Kenyan girls in Saudi Arabia cry for help.
Yes, bro.
Dang.
Nothing that I speak cannot be proven. Anything I speak on this channel is something I've researched myself and look into it. And that girl that I used to talk to from Kenya, she teach me a whole bunch of stuff about what's going on over there. Bro, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And everything she told me, she said, go look it up. You could do it. Because that's how she talked. She excited and she always said, you think I'm lying? You go look it up. And when I go and look it up, it's actually reported cases. One of the girls said she ran to the backyard. She went into the backyard, found 3 graves in the backyard. She said she believed that is those missing girls because family missed these girls were girls that they killed, the family killed. That's what she said. She believed that these graves were from girls that were killed, and she had to run like a thief to get out of Saudi Arabia to get back to her country. She barely escaped with her life.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you also brought up a good point about the Muslim majority areas versus non-Muslim majority areas, like especially Nigeria, which I think you brought up. Like when you see all the news in Nigeria, like all the kidnappings, the terrorist attacks, Boko Haram, it's all in the north. Literally,
Yeah.
It's all in the north.
Yes.
It's never in the south.
Yes.
And the south is Christian and the north is Muslim.
Yes. So when this guy is talking about the crime rate in America, I don't bite into that mango because what? American crime rate is reported, my brother. Canadian crime rate is reported. Jamaican crime rate is reported. The Western crime rate is reported. When you go to places like Cuba, I don't know what Cuba is like now, but back then in the days, there's no reported crime rate. When you go to places like Russia, there is no reported crime rate. And if there is, it's not accurate. Do you remember when coronavirus was going around?
Yeah.
And America is reporting their cases of coronavirus, even though sometimes it's not the best case, but they try their best. Unless individual state was hiding the amount of coronavirus they have. But overall, America did a good job on reporting the amount of coronavirus cases. But what about China? Do you think that China only have 80-something coronavirus cases?
Oh, no. China, yeah, they had China was reporting way less deaths than America,
Right.
even though that's where it started.
So you see, not because something is reported and you see a large population in one place, that doesn't mean that because you see a small population in a known crime rate in another place, that doesn't mean that it's true.
Exactly.
People report what they want to report, and that's how it goes. If you don't want to report everything about your country, especially if your country is that way, it will not be reported. It will not be reported. And then
Exactly.
look inside sorry, my brother. Saudi Arabia, women just start driving. Women just start driving. And you talk about women got rights and women got this and women. That's a lie. Women don't have the rights in Muslim land as they have in the West. They don't.
But in regards to that, just a quick note on Muslim majority countries. just because a country is a Muslim majority country, that does not mean that that country operates under Islamic law or the Sharia. It does not.
And do you notice I never really was basing anything on Islamic law, my brother. I was just basing things on the Quran. If you follow the Quran, beating your wife under American law, you will be in jail as a Muslim all the time.
Does not mean that. As a matter of fact, most of those countries are very secular in their functioning. They do not operate under Islamic jurisprudence. That's a fact. So, but nevertheless, again, I think you need to check the statistics, because you will see that in these Christian countries, even in the UK and the United States and so forth, that the atrocities committed against women.
So notice what he say, in these Christian countries. No country is Christian country.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that is because like for example, with American law, I mean, you can see very clearly. I mean, there are some laws that are based on Christian principles, since we were founded based on some Christian principles, but it's not, it doesn't come from the Bible. A lot of it is secular.
Yes. And then another thing you must look at, abortion, all this crap. Is that Christian? What is Christian about all this stuff in their law? Nothing. So you can't say the Christian countries, majority of the people may be Christian, but that doesn't mean that the country is a Christian country. And you will see him, because at the end of the day, we weren't even talking about Christian country versus Muslim country, or quote unquote. What we were talking about is, if you follow the Quran according to Surah 4 verse 34, you would be in jail. That's what I am talking about. Okay, wait. But guess what he do? You see where he do you see what he do? He make up this thing as if we are talking about the Quran, the Western countries, the Muslim country versus Christian country, and that's not what he was talking about, because that's what he switched from. He want to compare Western culture with Muslim culture, and that's not what it is. We are looking at how the Quran treat women, how the Quran treat women. So if a man should be Christian minded, and a man should be and Bible minded, based on the New Testament way of life, and a man should be Muslim minded based on the Quran way and the Hadith way of life, who would be more nicer to their wife? The Christian man. Exactly. And that's what we were based things on, not on Christian country versus Muslim country, because there's no such thing as a Christian country.
I mean, by non-Muslims far as exceeds that committed by Muslims.
And do you see how crazy this guy is? He's about non-Muslim and Muslim. No, that's not what we are talking about here. This is not what we are talking about here. What's the subject? He says Christian deny equality between men and women in Islam. But do you notice what he do? He run off to make it into a comparison thing. And that's not what the intention was. I'm just showing him that one of the reasons in America, under American law system, if you were supposed to follow Islam in the truest form, you could not survive in an American system, because you would be in jail for abusing women all the time, because they beat their women. And it's not a lie. They beat their women. Do you see how that man was quick to kick down a woman on the street, and that woman is not even his wife?
Yeah, I mean, you know what's weird about that is I've heard that Iran is actually one of the less conservative countries, and that is not as bad as some other Muslim countries. So if that's that That's pretty bizarre. If that's one of the better Muslim countries.
But there's a group of Muslim in Iran. I was reading about. I can't remember what they call themselves, who actually take it upon themselves to preserve Islam and real Islam. They're taking it upon themselves to preserve Islam, the cover up on the and the oppression of women. Because what this guy cannot see is that women are actually oppressed. They are truly oppressed here in the they are actually oppressed under Islam. They are oppressed, totally oppressed. When you look at a woman, a Muslim woman here in America, they can't even have friends unless they have to. The only friend they can have is the Muslim friends. They can't even. They're subjugated. They have to be at home. They have to run home. Most of them have to run home. You know, so even in America, they are subjugated in a sense. They are. And then you're gonna say, "Oh, there is Muslim women who are politicians, Muslim this and this and that and that." But what did Muhammad say about women as a politics? Didn't Muhammad say a country that have a woman as a leader will not succeed? Yeah. I know I read it somewhere. I wouldn't be able to find it right now, but I know that Muhammad says a country with a woman will not succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then if you look at it, you know, and look, this is Tafsir Jalalain. Remember he told you about Tafsir? Remember he run to the Tafsir? And this is Tafsir Jalalain. Listen to what Tafsir Jalalain says. Men are stronger, more intelligent, more prudent.
Interesting.
Only one part of this I agree with.
Stronger.
Yes.
Well, physically stronger.
Yeah, physically. Oh, that's a good word you choose. Because I was gonna say it depends on what you call strength.
Yeah.
Because women, I'm telling you, I'm a nurse and I know this for a fact. Women are emotionally stronger than men.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Bro, we behave as if we are emotionally stronger than women while we walk in these roads out here. But when we get sick and we are in a sick bed, we found out that men are more emotional. The most issue you will have in a behavioral unit is from men.
I did not know
not
that.
Lying.
That's interesting to know.
not lying, bro. And listen to this. Men, you remember there's a part where you're gonna hear him say, if maybe you're gonna come on my next video, where you hear him say they beat the woman with something like a toothbrush or toothpick or something like that. Can't remember exactly what he says, but you know he's lying. That's a made-up story. You will see that according to Muslim sources, there is men who used to beat women until the stick broke. So whatever stick they were using on the women, they beat the women until the stick the stick broke. Exactly. These are the kind of stuff that you hear.
Yeah, I mean, they had to reinterpret those verses, you know.
Yeah, and bro, I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to find where Muhammad heard about a woman being a leader somewhere. If it was Muhammad or somebody else heard about a leader being somewhere, but if you hear the companion of Muhammad speak in certain way, then you could say Muhammad is the reason they speak like that. Because you are the companion of the prophet. If the disciples were nasty and unruly, then you would know that you can't trust them. Because they come straight from the Messiah. Matthew, Mark, not Mark, Matthew, John, Paul, no, Peter, not Paul, but Peter. And if you heard about these Bartholomew, these people were nasty people, then you know that you can't trust them. But when you look and you see how these people, behave, then you know that they come straight from the source. The source was dirty. And then what did Muhammad say, man? If a woman refused, Muhammad said, if a woman refused to sleep with a wife, the angel curse her until morning.
Well,
But you could,
interesting.
right? And that is Sahih al-Bukhari 4, book 54, number 460. So, but the man could put his wife aside. The man could put his wife aside.
Yeah, I bet it's not true the other way around. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So you see that this guy was not telling the truth. He was not telling the truth.
Exactly.
And there was so many stupidity that Muhammad teach, man. There's so many stupidity. And if you look at Arbery translation of Surah 2, verse 223, he says, your women are your tillage. You know what tillage is? Your property, your land for you. Your women are your tillage, your land for you. So come unto her tillage as you wish. So whenever you wish, as you wish, you have sex with your woman. She can't say no because the angel will curse her till morning.
Exactly.
This is the wickedness of Islam towards women, man. So you can say, the man can say no to his wife, but the wife can't say no to him. But this guy called it.
Yeah, but the Bible says that the man and the woman have like equal ground in that regards. I can't remember the verse, but there's the verse that says that like the man and the woman have to like meet each other's needs, and like I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, with Christianity, the marriage is a lot more equal. It's like an actual marriage.
And do you notice this guy now? So from the Quran 4 verse 176, he says the male will have twice the share of than the female. Or are they equal? They are not equal. They are not. If you inheritance, say you as a man die and you have a daughter and a son, the son will get twice as much as the female, the woman, the daughter gets. Even if he have his own already, he will still get twice, even if the woman don't have anything. And then Muhammad, says, this is in Bukhari, volume 3, book 48, and number 826. Muhammad says to a woman, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half that of a man? The woman said yes. So the woman actually heard this nonsense before, and maybe from the Quran. So he says, this is because of the deficiency of the woman's mind. And that nonsense came, I'm sure, from the Quran. Let me show you that it's come from the Quran. Quran 2, verse 282. And get 2 witnesses out of your own men. And if there are no 2 men available, if there are not 2 men available, then a man and 2 women. So if it's a man, you need 2 men. If it's men, it's 2 men. But if it's 1 man, you need 2 women and a man. So if it is no man at all, I'm guessing you get 4 women. You have to have 4 women as a witness. This is totally nonsense, bro. So this is Mohammed for you. So let's continue to look at this guy.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, Olga Yates, you tried to imply that somehow the Muslims here in the United States aren't in the jails, which they would be if they were following the Islamic rule. But because
and then, do you notice this guy is continue to repeat himself? I didn't say that if they were following Islamic rule, if they were following the Quran and the Hadith. If they were following the Quran and the Hadith in American society, they would fill the jails.
Because they're following Christian rule, they happen to not be in the jails. But guess what? There's far more non-Muslims convicted of domestic violence than there are.
Make no sense. There are way more non-Muslim in this country than there is Muslim. But that's not the sense that I'm making. If these Muslims were following the Quran to beat your wife in American, even though they maybe follow the Quran and it keeps secret. But if it is known that they were beating their wives here in America, a lot of them would be in jail.
Actual Muslims, including here in the United States. So what does that entail? What does that tell you? That tells you that the Muslims are obviously following the guidance of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
No, the Muslims are not following the guidance of the Prophet. they are refusing to follow your Quran. Because if they follow their Quran, and maybe they are following your Quran, but well, guess what? These women are being beaten and keep themselves silent. It's either they are not following your Quran or they are being beaten and keep themselves silent. And that's just a key. That is just what it is. Because what? If anybody follow your Quran and beat their wife, they would be in jail in America. There's no if, no but to it.
And also the guidance of Allah, obviously, that's where it all boils down to, the guidance of Allah in the Quran, which we're going to go to these verses.
Do you see how crazy this guy is? They're following the guidance of Allah, and that's why they're not in jail. And Allah says, oh, beat your wife. American law said, no, that's abuse. So if they were following the guidance of Allah, they would be in jail. Or they're following the guidance of Allah and these women shut their mouth. Because what? They are threatened. And if they believe in the nonsense of Muhammad, that the angel cursed them until morning, guess what? They believe in the nonsense of Muhammad, that if they disobey their husband, they are this and they are that and they are that. They're not going to tell anybody. They're going to keep their mouth shut. They're going to keep their mouth shut. And even though they're living here in America, they might be keeping their mouth shut, because who knows? Who knows what's going on? If you follow the crazy book called the Quran and be beating on women, no one knows what's going on.
We're going to break it all down for you systematically here in a moment. But what I want to encourage you to do, Olga Yates, instead of you going to non-Muslim websites and so forth and trying to suggest that you're reading these things from the Quran and that's where you're getting your information, you're basically talking about things you have no knowledge of.
And nobody, what do you expect from this guy, Kenny Bomer? To tell you that you have no knowledge. So if you don't have no knowledge, that means your Quran is not knowledge. That's the reality of it. If I'm quoting from your Quran and your Hadith and I have no knowledge, that means the Quran and the Hadith is not knowledge, and people need to stay away from Islam, because you are more scared of your Quran than I am scared of your Quran, because you're scared of interpreting the true meaning of your Quran. That's what I'm getting from you. Because if I'm telling you the truth, I'm reading your Quran that you can beat your wife, and I'm reading that your prophet allow a man to beat his wife and use a monkey court to liberate the man from his from the judgment of abusing his wife to the point where she was green, her skin was black and blue, literally. Then you know, and Muhammad is the perfect example to follow. Then you know that, what do you think gonna happen? You know, but you want to sell something that is not realistic. You want to sell something that is not realistic. And a lot of you guys, that you know, because a lot of people have the idea of dominating women, so they choose Islam because Islam is the way of dominating women. Gullible and gullibility, caused by the religion of Islam.
Because you see, Ogie Yates, if you go to any masjid and local Islamic center and so forth, you can find these pamphlets. I have 3 in my hand right now. One's titled "The Muslim Woman," one's titled "Misconceptions About Islam," and one's titled what's this one titled? "Women's Rights in Islam."
And do you see? And this is why I refer to the Jehovah Witnesses, because the Jehovah Witness have all their pamphlets. But if you look at their old system, and you will see even where I think it was in Canada, where the Jehovah Witness, one of the leader in the Watchtower, lied in court. If you look it up and say Jehovah Witness lied in court, you will see where they lied in court, and they give all these pamphlets, because what? They create a front that is actually not what it is. When you ask the Jehovah Witness about disfellowship of their members, they tell you a lie. A lot of them tell you a lie when you ask them disfellowship of their members. Many grandmother who can't see their kids. Many father who can't see their kids. Many mothers who can't see their kids because they leave the organization. They can't be around their kids and their grandchildren because they leave the organization. But if you ask them anything about that, they will cover that up and say, no, that's not true. The guy actually lied in the court, said that was not true. When they asked him the question, is that true? He said that was not true. But they have all these pamphlets. So pamphlets don't mean anything. What mean things is the Quran and the Hadith. All your pamphlets is just, you could read from your pamphlets, and when you read, you're going to hear him reading from one of the pamphlets. And when you see what he read, then you realize that something is wrong, because nothing he read was actually quoted. Nothing he read was actually quoted. It's just somebody making up something that have nothing to do with the Quran and nothing to do with the Hadith.
What these are telling the Muslims, and it doesn't, these go all over the world, Ogie Yates. These aren't specific to any Western nation or anything like that.
And that doesn't mean that it's not deception, because it goes all over the world. That doesn't mean that it is not deception. See, there are different levels of Muslims, and that's what this guy doesn't know. There are Muslims who follow their Imam, and then there are Muslims who follow the Hadith and the Quran. There's Muslims who listen to their Imam, the teachers, and then there's Muslims who follow the Hadith and the Quran. And the danger is the Muslim who follow the Hadith and the Quran. You following these pamphlets make it look like everything is okay, but you don't know the real Islam. And when something happened, you say, that's not Islam, until you are finding out later that, yes, that is Islam. That's what Muhammad asked for.
That these go all over the nation. Go all over the world in different languages. And what these pamphlets are telling Muslims worldwide and non-Muslims who are willing to listen, that there is definite equality between Muslim men and women in Islam. This is what the Muslims are being taught in the universities, as I mentioned. This is what we're being taught in the masjids. And for non-Muslims to try to come along and try to suggest otherwise is a bit of.
Do you see? So he's saying that this is what the Muslim is taught in this and in that, and this is what the Muslim is taught. It is like me saying that, oh, this is what the Republican and the Democrat is taught. So for me, if I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I can't speak against it. I can't speak anything about the Democrat, and I can't speak anything about the Republican. Yes, you can. It's knowledge that make you speak. It's not anything about, and not because you're taught something in school, that doesn't mean that what you're taught is true. That doesn't mean that what you're taught is true. Because some school is like concentration camps where they brainwash you. There's a video out of a woman teaching kids in school to hate Westerners. A matter of fact, let me see if I could find that video. It's a so see, here it is. It's a CNN. I'm not going to show that for copyright reason, but it's a CNN and it's on YouTube where I don't think you can show that, where they actually have video of a woman teaching children to hate. So not because you go to school, that means what you're teaching, learning school is true. There's another one, a Muslim and a teacher. You know, Saudi Arabia is still teaching state-sanctioned hate. So you see, you know, so you see that, you know. So not because you go to school. What are you learning in school? Are you learning the truth? No, because what? When you teach a kid to hate Westerners, does that mean, is that the truth? That the Western hatred, is that the truth? No. To be real with you, it's not. That's not how you get along in society, because Islam will never rule the world. Literally speaking, Islam will never rule the world. Islam may increase or whatever, but Islam will never rule the world. It's a vain pursuit. Islam will never rule the world. And even when there is more Muslim than Christian, Islam will never rule the world. I'm telling you the truth. They will never rule the world. So at the end of the day, when you're teaching all this hatred about Westerners and all this stuff, you know, what is that all about? But at the end of the day, you learn all these things in school. You can learn something in school that is not true. You know, because some school is to brainwash you, while some school is to educate you and your surrounding. And the truth is, teach the kids about the truth. You can beat your wife. Stop telling them, oh, it means to spank her lightly and eat her with a toothbrush or whatever they claim. Because you could hit somebody with a toothbrush and it still hurt. And it's still considered abuse. Or whatever. This is he said toothbrush or a toothpick. What did he say?
Absurd, based on your very limited understanding, limited knowledge. So I'll let you pick it up from there, and then we're gonna break down everything you said systematically based on the verses of the Quran. Go ahead.
And you put me back at 3. You're counting me down while you're talking.
Sure. If you want to be so petty as to just the 2-3 seconds.
Do you see that? He talking on my time. That's him for you, man. Man, all you can do for this guy is pray for him.
Seconds, go ahead.
Okay, so what happened is this. Again, you misrepresent. Again, you misrepresent. How many Muslims are in America versus how many non-Muslims are in America? So even if there is a whole bunch of people in jail for domestic violence, and there is just a few Muslims in jail for domestic violence, that's not the case here, my friend. What I'm trying to tell you, because when you're talking about Islam, the Quran is the biggest thing in Islam, and the Hadith comes second in Islam. If Muslim were to follow your books, your Hadith and your Quran, and beat their wife, there would be more Muslim in jail than anybody else. Because what? The moment you hit a woman under American law, that woman, it's likable for that woman to call the cops, and you'll be in trouble. Especially as a black Muslim, your butt would be torn off. So that's one thing. And another thing that you say, you said I'm going to Islamophobic site, something paraphrased. That's not true. I'm reading from your Quran. I just read from your Quran, Quran 4 verse 33, that says you can beat your wife. The same verse that said that you can beat your wife is saying that woman is a superior man. And right here, I meant to say Quran 4, verse 34, but I said 33. So we are human being, and we are prone to make mistakes. But a mistake is different from a lie. When you make a mistake, it's a mistake, because I'm quoting the Quran, but I'm calling the wrong number. So that's it's a mistake. But what we see the Islamic brother doing here is actually totally lying, because these pamphlets that he's showing is not mightier than the Quran, because the Quran said it is the best tafsir and the best explanation. So at the end of the day, you're showing these pamphlets, but who do those pamphlets impress? When the person in their home reading the Quran and said, I don't care what the imam say, the Quran is what I follow. It doesn't impress anybody. This pamphlet doesn't impress anybody. All I'm trying to say, if you follow the Quran and the Hadith, you, as a Muslim man, you would take away the right from a woman. Don't care what come after writing, all the writing that come after, the tafsirs that come after. You cannot, a tafsir cannot change what the Quran says. The Quran says to beat your wife. And even though you say, discipline her gently, where does the word discipline come in? Show me what word is translated to mean from the Arabic to mean discipline. The Quran that he read say discipline her gently, or something like that. What word is translated to mean discipline? Is it the same word that mean to beat, to strike her? Is it the same way that Sa'i International wrote as strike? Is it the same one as Mohammed Sawar wrote as beat? I think he said beat. Yes, Mohammed Sawar said beat. Is it the same one that Shakir wrote as scourge? To scourge somebody doesn't mean that you discipline them gently. To beat somebody doesn't mean that you discipline them gently. Man is superior to woman, and one of the reasons is because they make more money and they spend their money on the woman. And we see that is illogical in today, and it's totally illogical. So you see that whatever these people call God is not it is a God for a region and a God for a time. Even though they say, oh, Muhammad is the last prophet to mankind and all this stuff. I don't think Muhammad realized that the world was so big. I really don't. I don't think Muhammad know how big the world was. I really don't think he knew how big the world was, because Muhammad was so crazy that he told a story that where there's Gog and Magog, where there's some people in a hidden place where you can't find them on the earth. There's a hidden living beings living on the earth, and they are people. They're living on the earth, hidden somewhere. And I remember this Muslim asked me to find the Garden of Eden. He said, find on earth where the Garden of Eden is. And I said, if you can't find Gog and Magog, where all these people live, why are you asking me to find the Garden of Eden when there's a flood after the Garden of Eden? There's a flood that happened in the region of the Garden of Eden, a big flood that happened. Both Quran and the Bible tell of this flood. But yet still, this Muslim is telling me to find the Garden of Eden. But what about Gog and Magog? Or you find that with a wall built and all this stupidness, fairy tale. How do you find that? You see what I'm saying? Quran is a nonsense, man. Islam is just pure nonsense. And do you know that this cannot come from God Almighty? Because no God will tell you that you are above your wife because you maintain your wife with your wealth. Because what? There are going to be a lot of women who have more wealth than you. Unless whatever the woman make is yours. You should take whatever the woman make and claim it for yourself. And then that will show you that women don't have the right that men have. So I don't know. Just be real. Stop trying to sell something. You're trying to sell a monkey dressed up as a princess. The society, so that could never be from God Almighty, because my wife sometimes make more money. We are both nurses, but she sometimes make more money than I make. It depends on how much I work and which job I have. When I was with her working at the same job, she was making more money than I make. And one of the things that I want to look at, I quote from your hadith, I paraphrase from your hadith, where Aisha stated, and you said that it's an Islamophobic site. So directly what you are doing, you're calling your religion Islamophobic. You are calling your religion Islamophobic because I paraphrase from your hadith. I paraphrase that a woman came to Aisha and complained of her man beating her up because she was what we call black and blue. Aisha called it green, and we know that when a bruise is healing, it becomes green. And what did Muhammad do? Muhammad sent her home with her husband without warning the husband, stop beating your wife. So in a perfect Islamic society, since the Quran says Muhammad is the perfect example to follow, people would be beating their wife and they don't care if they're black and blue, because Muhammad is the perfect example, and he did nothing about that woman being beat.
Okay, so Olga Yates, for one, you don't know the authenticity of that hadith, nor have you read the entirety of that hadith. What you've done is you've given a very Islamophobic summary of that hadith. Again, you're not a hadith scholar, and so it's not for you to try to give your interpretation of what's going on there.
Do you see this? So what so what you resort to now is to say the hadith is not authentic, because this is the deception that this guy is practicing. The hadith is not authentic. Let's say the hadith is not authentic. That's how you're gonna escape. Say the hadith is not authentic, but the hadith is authentic. You could go several sites and see YouTube channel. You could go to many YouTube channels and see Muslim showing the wisdom of Muhammad based on this hadith, that Muhammad was so wise because the woman was a liar and this and that. But what does Muhammad base is believe that the woman was a liar on? Something that make no sense. So you see, the God of Islam doesn't make any sense, and Muhammad himself doesn't make any sense. And that's what we see when we look into all this stuff. So at the same time, while this guy is trying to prove that Islam have equality for women, what we are finding out in the same process is that Islam is not sensible. Islam does not have equality for women at all.
And you haven't provided the entirety of that hadith. I'm aware of that hadith, and I know the specifics regarding that hadith.
I didn't want to provide the entirety of the hadith. Why? Because that was not my goal. My goal is, but the entirety of the hadith make Muhammad look very, very bad. But that was not my goal in this dialogue, because he says Christians deny equality between men and women in Islam. That was the goal, to show that men were beating their women until they're black and blue, and Muhammad allowed that to happen. And to show that Aisha was saying that, paraphrasing, that I've seen no women suffer as much as they believe in women. So this thing about the pagans were more evil than what was going on to women than what was going on, that's a lie. Aisha shows that that's a lie, because she sees sufferation in Islam more than she sees outside of Islam, men versus women. So a lot of things that came after Islam, all these tafsir and all this stuff, trying to paint on this thing, painting Islam and painting Muhammad as a good person, is not so. And within this dialogue, you see this guy say that Muhammad never hurt a slave, but according to Islamic sources, I think is Ibn Ishaq, life of the Prophet. Muhammad allowed Ali to beat Aisha's slave violently, and he didn't say anything. He didn't say stop. So when he said Muhammad never beat a soul, and I quote I did to him where Muhammad was beating his fellow Muslims and cursing them and telling his God that the people who he beat and curse, if they don't deserve it, let it be a blessing to them on the day of resurrection. Paraphrasing. But all this I could find because I have all these hadith here, you know. So I'm not saying anything that cannot be supported. If somebody say, hey, find this support for that, I could quickly find it. It's not hard to find. And another thing that we look at, you know, Muhammad even cursed a little slave girl, you know, and paraphrasing that, may you not advance in age. Maybe that's not even a paraphrase. That may be actually what Muhammad said, because it sounds exactly like what I read. May you not advance in age, something similar to that, you know. But so we see that Muhammad wasn't the decent man that these people are cutting Muhammad out to be. And we see where hadith shows that Abu Bakr and Umar was beating on Muhammad's wife in front of Muhammad. You know, eat Aisha in the chest or something like that. Abu Bakr eat Aisha in the chest. You know, who can hit my wife in the chest? Not even her father can hit her in the chest, and I don't say something about it. You know, not saying that a father, you know, don't have certain power over a child. Or when I say a child, she shouldn't be a child unless she was a baby at the age when Muhammad married to her. He married to her at 6. So maybe she was still a child when that happened to her. Who knows? Who knows? So, but what we are trying to show is that there's a lie. You know, there's a lie, you know, about women having rights in Islam. We could sell this lie all we want. We could say all the lie we want. But what we got to do is face reality. We have to face reality. You know, we got to stop the lie and face reality. And when we look at it, here it is. So one day Muhammad leave the house, and Aisha wanted to see what Muhammad was doing, because I think she maybe suspect him of something bad. So she followed him, and he saw her and following him, and he turned back or whatever. But according to the hadith, he says, and he said, "You were the black shape I saw in front of me." And Aisha said, I said, yes. He said, and she said, he gave me a shove in the chest that hurt me and said, you thought that Allah and his messenger would be unfair to you? She said, whatever people conceal, Allah knows it. He said, yes. And this is Sunan An-Nisa, book 39, hadith 64. So, you know, it's all over. You could tell he shoved her violently. You have to shove her hard for it to hurt. Because if you're going to be like, go sit down, it shouldn't hurt nobody. Unless you shove her violently for it to hurt. Shove her in the chest. That's don't make them tell you that Islam is better than nothing, and Islam is not better than anything. Islam is oppression. That's what Islam is. Islam is total oppression, and if it's practiced in its true sense, it's oppression. But what we are seeing is, as Paul says, the Satan is transformed into an angel of light. What we are seeing now is kind of something that looks like a light. But is it real light? No, it's not light. it just appear that way, just to trap you. Appear that way. If you notice, he's selling the booklets and not selling his Quran. He's so scared of his Quran that he's reading the booklets.
We'll address that here shortly. But let's get to the word of Allah as mentioned in Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 34. It's not verse 33, by the way. But let's start at 33. But what you're going to notice, I'm going to be reading from the Clear Quran, and the subtitle for these verses is titled "Husbands as Providers and Protectors." Okay.
So he says, husband as provider and protector. So that doesn't mean that you can't. So you read the subtitle. The subtitle is not a part of the Quran. It's a man put that there. But at the end of the day, not because you're protector of a person, that doesn't mean that you can't beat the person. Do you see that? That doesn't even make no sense. So you read the subtitle because that's how this guy operate. That's how this guy operate. Men as providers and protectors. But I'm telling him, in situations where women make way more money than the man, how is he a provider? And what about situation where the woman is a protector? That is not from God. It is not from God. It is not from God. It's from a naive source. It's from a naive source. You could tell it's not from God Almighty, because God doesn't think on that low level.
And so at 33, it says, "And we have appointed heirs to what has been left by parents and next of kin. As for those you have made a pledge to, give them their share. Surely Allah is witness over all things." That's verse 33. So you misquoted the.
Do you see? He said I misquoted. I didn't misquote nothing. I gave a verse. I gave a verse and I quote the right Quran verse. The one I want to quote, I quote the right Quran verse, but the wrong number. So he said misquoted. And this is how superficially is dwelling on the wrong things. How many times have I said Quran 4 verse 34? He knows what I'm talking about. But what he want to do, waste time. Because as I say, he's trying to save face. That's what Kenny is known for. Saving face. As if, oh, I'm more knowledgeable than what you are. But everybody knows what I'm trying to say. Everybody knows. This is not a child's plaything. And if a person make a mistake, it is better for you to misquote a number of a verse than you to misquote the verse. You see what I'm saying? Misquote the number of the verse than to misquote the verse. And what you're going to see here is the translator that he's using is misquoting and misrepresenting. That's not Allah's word. If there is nothing called Allah, and that's not Allah's word. And these people know that. And that's why they can manipulate and do all the stupid shit that they do, because they know.
A proper verse to begin with. Verse 34 says, "Men are the caretakers of women, as men have provision by Allah over women and tasked with supporting them financially."
So a man is tasked with supporting a woman financially. Is it in this era or in the backward era? Even from that stupid so-called translation or clear Quran, you could what you see. They are tasked with supporting them financially. But is it in this world or in the past world? So the Quran is written from a naive mind, a narrow mind, thinking about the world that they're living in. There is nowhere in the Bible that says that you can find in the New Testament, and I don't think there is in the Old Testament, that says that a man is a provider for a woman. They both work together and take care of each other. That's what life should be about. Because there is sometimes when a woman have more resources than a man. And when a woman have in a Quran here would never work in some place. Because when I read that verse there, that men are a protector and the financer. All these women making their money,
and righteous women are developed
in American society, they would dwell on that. Like, hey, you are supposed to take care of me, even when they have the potential to take care of, to do more than you have the potential to do. Because that is from a narrow-minded source.
devoutly obedient, and when alone, protective of what Allah has entrusted them with regarding the husband's affairs. And if you sense ill conduct from your women, advise them first. If they persist, do not share their beds.
So do not share their bed. And this Abdul is telling me that women are equal when the Quran is saying do not share their bed. And according to Muhammad, if a woman doesn't sleep with her husband, angels are cursing her all night long. All night long. But here it is. This man can choose not to sleep with his wife because they have a disagreement. And it could be anything. I suspect you this, I suspect you that, and just refuse to sleep with the woman. So he have 4 wives. He go sleep with the other wives and leave this one woman by herself as long as possible. And that's what a man could use to refuse to give his wife affection, the Quran. Wow. A man could use this to refuse to show his wife affection. And you tell me that you are all equal? No. Kenny, you live in a world that is not realistic. Your world is fake, fraud. So what I'm going to say from here, man, I'm going to let him finish up this, and then I say peace out, and God bless you all, man, because I'm going to let him finish up this right here.
But if they still persist, then discipline them lightly. But if they change their way...
Do you notice discipline them lightly? That's not what the Quran says. The Quran says nothing. The real Quran says nothing about disciplining them lightly, because there is nowhere where the Quran gonna say discipline them lightly, and Sahih International is saying strike them. And Tala A Intani is saying strike them, and Muhammad Assad is saying beat them. And Rodwell is saying and scourge them. And Pictal is saying scourge them. And Ali Baki Atari is saying spank them. And then Hassan Al-Fati is saying smack them. You smack somebody that doesn't have nothing to do with no what he said, discipline them lightly. Do you see? Cover up. So that's why from the get-go you see that Islam is a fraud, because Islam believe in cover up. Islam believe in cover up, and that's what he's selling the cover up of Islam.
Ways do not be unjust to them. Surely Allah is most high and most.
So do not be unjust to them, according to that translation. Do not be unjust. But what is justice? Beating the woman is justice. So what is unjust? Do you see? So beating the woman is justice. So what is unjust? That's why I say you have to look at who is speaking. You have to look at who is speaking. Did Adolf Hitler think it was just to kill the Jews? Yes, he did. Adolf Hitler thought it was just to destroy the Jews, and that's why he was destroying the Jews. Did Mohammed thought it was just to kill the Jews? Yes, he did. He was sitting down, according to Ibn Isham and Ibn Ishaq. He was sitting down with his companion, and he says, kill any Jews who fall into your hand. And a man get up and kill a Jew. So justice, what is justice? Justice is based on laws. And what is considered just in one society is not just in another society. This is what I'm saying. What is considered justice in one society, beating your wife is not just. It is not just, If you have to beat your wife, leave her alone and go on your business. Is what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what do you call justice? Do not be unjust to them. So beating your wife is not unjust. So banish her and stop sleeping with her is not unjust. But she cannot, if you come back, if you don't sleep with her for 4 months and come back one day after the 4 months and want to sleep with you, she have to sleep with you. because angels are cursing her all night. Do you see? So whose justice? Monkey justice.
Most great. And so let's go to the footnotes regarding these verses. And it says,
do you notice? He got to go to footnote. Did Allah write any footnote? Did Muhammad write any footnote? Where's Allah writing footnote? Man, Allah reveal a footnote. And Gabriel came and revealed a footnote. That's why I said this guy is a laughing stock, man. You know, I could have a better conversation with another Muslim than you have with this guy. Because there's Muslim that you could have conversation with and you just say, yeah, for real, yeah, you know, I don't believe that, this, not this, that. But you have a conversation with this guy and you realize, man, you're going to be in for some deception.
It says, 190, it says, 191, it says, okay, it says, disciplining one's wife gently is the final resort. The earliest commentators understood that this was to be light enough as to not leave a mark, should be done without nothing bigger than a toothstick. And
what is a toothstick? I really want to. Is that the stick that you use to pick your tooth? A toothpick? Is that what? Oh my God! These guys are something else. Is that what they call a toothstick? The stuff you chew. Is that what they call it about what is a toothstick? This guy. Where's the Quran say anything about no toothstick? The Quran tell you to beat the woman. The Quran didn't say nothing about no toothstick.
Should not be on the face. Prophet Muhammad said to his companions, do not beat the female servants of Allah. He said that honorable husbands do not beat their wives, and he himself never hit a woman or...
Do you see? Was Muhammad anti-Islam? This guy is saying, the Prophet says, honorable servant do not beat their wife. But the Quran said, beat your wife. Do you see the stupidity of Islam? The Quran said, beat your wife, but in the footnote that somebody else read, he said, Muhammad said, the honorable servant don't beat his wife. So according to this person who write a footnote, Muhammad was bigger than the God, man. Because if the God, he said, he beat your wife, and Muhammad said, don't beat your wife. What is Muhammad? Nonsense. Total nonsense, man. You know, and this is what happened in a world like we're living in, where you have a Muslim white guy living in America in the 21st century defending stupidity like that. And then he don't even see what he say because he go to this clear Quran that distort what he's saying and say discipline them gently. Nah, that's not what it is. You're refusing to sleep with a woman, then you beat the woman. That's what it means. You're refusing to sleep with her, then you beat her. You beat her. There was a man who was beating his wife because his wife was praying, reading 2 surahs during prayer, and that was too much for him. And then Muhammad said, instead of Muhammad say, hey, don't beat him, beat her, let her read the Quran. You could wait until 2 surah is finished reading. Because Muhammad said, 1 surah will do. So if that woman think she is a woman above and think she can have her own right and read 2 surah again and see what happened. He beat her again.
If a woman feels her husband is ill behaved, then she can get help from her guardian or seek.
Wow. And a woman's right. One can beat the other, and the other one got to get help. And then you hear that. What it says, Christian denies equality between men and women in Islam. Wow. Christian denies equality between men and women in Islam. So, what do you think? What? Come on. No, be real with yourself. Be real with yourself, man. You know? And then look at this. I'm on his channel for so long with my name, Islam is a Mess, because that's my channel name. And then later, when we got into that conflict, he gonna change my name. My name is already advertised. So you change my name, and you already state that you changed my name. So at the end of the day, whatever is advertised, you already prove it that you are a mess. Islam is a mess. You prove that Islam is a mess, because you have to lie to cover for your Quran and change my name. But Islam is the answer. This is what you right? Islam is the answer what? To lies. Islam is the answer to lies. That's what it is. Islam is the answer to lies. And when I say answer to lies, Islam is all lies. If you ask what is lie, Islam is the answer. Lie. Islam is lie. If you say what is define lie, Islam is the answer to
that. Seek divorce if she felt she was being mistreated and so forth. So that's what is being stated in the Quran. This is the clear Quran. This is a translation. It's not the actual Quran. It's a translation of the Quran. But that's what's being.
Do you see? He said it's not the actual Quran. Wow. So it's not the actual Quran, but that's what he using to undo the real Quran. I'm letting him speak this 15 minutes and say our thanks to the Most High God, and then we're gonna pick up from here. We're gonna pick up from here, and we're gonna make at least 3 videos, because I really want to deal with this lady, some of the stuff that this lady say. You will see, because I want to show you guys what this lady is all about. The lady is a destroyer, but she thinks she she don't know me. I got money to waste. If she don't know. She don't know me. I have money to waste. I take her to court. She's sitting in a courtroom every day. And this is how I'm going to reveal Islam, by me and her sitting in a courtroom every day. So let's continue. See.
Conveyed to who? To Muslims and non-Muslims alike. That you're not to leave any mark. You don't strike in the face. You're not to cause any pain. And it's only as a last resort. And I'm going to pick up on.
And the funny thing about it is this. A man, like, if I should show you, like let me show you, not every man is as big as I am, but if you look at this, look at my arm, and I'm gonna say, oh, I'm gonna hit a woman, even though what he claims is not the Quran, but if you're gonna hit a woman, the damage you could do to a woman, and say, oh, I say, I hit her lightly. But the Quran says nothing about no lightly. So this is some afterthought, because somebody have to undo what this God do, because the God is not really bright. The God is, something is wrong with the mind of the God, that the God could not make himself clear. So you see that the God is not a God, the God is a human being. The God, if the God is not a human being, the God is a demon, just like Muhammad originally told us that he is poet or possessed. He think he was poet or possessed. So that they reach to the point where they have to speak. They have to write books to undo what this God says. So, I'm going to say peace out right here. And this is about, what is this? Okay, so let me write this down. And then I'm saying all praises to the Most High God. So we're gonna write down number 5 in the minute box, and negative 2:20:29. Because we want to do, even when he got me in the back, I want to do just look into what he's saying while he got me in the back, and you will see that this guy is nothing but a wolf. So I want to say peace out. God bless you all. And this have nothing at all to do about 18 Muslim. This is about 18 Islam. A Muslim is a human being. And do you notice what this guy says? This woman says, you will see it at the back, where she want to attack my nursing, and this person is not supposed to be taking care of this and this and that. But you if you look at it, I'm just being real with you. If you look at it, you know, I spend many hours, literally on my knee, feeding Muslims, feeding other people. I don't care who you are. Jesus gave me a duty to take care of a human life. I'm going to take care of life. I don't care who you are. And when you see a person say, oh, because of this person, this and that. No. If you are a liar, you are a liar. You see what I'm saying? And we'll get to that point where we see what I say and how this naive woman take it. So at the end of the day, you know, we'll see how we break things down. And you see that this Muslim doesn't even make any sense. You know, but every time he make a video based on me and this, you know, we'll make video. You know, as I say, I make video about different things about Islam. You know, this have nothing to do with hatred for Muslim. You can't hate a Muslim, because the Messiah told me, he said, love even your enemy. And a Muslim is really not my enemy. You know, so why would I hate a Muslim? If I don't hate my enemies, why would I hate a Muslim? I'm just speaking the truth. That the pamphlet that this guy is showing is not the actual Islam, because Islam is based on the Quran and the Hadith. So those pamphlets are deceptive, and Muslims are circulating them. These Dawa guys, like Fibin Farouk and all those people, are circulating them to mislead American people, Then when America become Muslim majority country, if they that's what they believe they can do by circulating this nonsense that they're circulating, then guess what? The life in America would drastically change, because women will not be able to be independent people. And that's true. It's just reality. It is just total reality. A woman cannot independently take care of herself. The independence that these great women in America have will be lost. Will be lost. And he knows that too. He knows that. He knows that under Sharia law in America, if you got Sharia law in America, a woman cannot make her choice to go sleep with a man unmarried. She can't. She cannot. She be killed. But a man maybe can do that crap and get away with it. I would have to look that up. But at the same time, not only that, under Sharia law, they're gonna impose women dressed up like ninjas, wear all kind of stuff like a ninja, and American women. And guess what? The American women lose her independence, because she's depending on Sharia law to direct her own footstep, when that's not what American women want. American women fight for their freedom. They fight for their rights. They live a second-class citizen for a long, long time, and they fight for their rights to be where they are. And they deserve to be where they are and above where they are, because women deserve equal pay as a man. For every job they do that men do, a woman deserves equal pay. CEOs, all this, women deserve equal pay as a man. They do. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that. Women have equal rights as men should have in every aspect, not in a place where a man can beat his wife, as the Quran stated. No. And this guy is covering up, because he said this is not the actual Quran. He said this is not the actual Quran, but he read from it. Why are you reading from something that is not the actual Quran? A translation should be the actual Quran. A translation should be the actual Quran, because you're translating the actual onto something else. into English and to something else. But he said it's not the actual Quran. Because the Quran says beat, scourge, strike, slap. Is it slap? Did he say slap? Something similar. Let's use these now. These scourge, scourge, beat, it, strike, strike again, spank, smack. You smack a woman. Oh my God. You smack a woman. See, you know, in America, you know, a woman will smack you because, you know, sometimes you do something and, you know, they're so grieved that they will smack you. But the power of most of these ladies smack you with, it's not going to kill you. But you use your big hand smacking a woman, especially in their face. And even though you tell a man not to eat their woman in the face, you tell them to eat their woman, but not to eat their woman in the face. When a man is angry, he have no control over. But the first thing, you give him that power to hit that woman. You know, you don't give nobody no power to hit no one. And that's what the Quran do. Give men power to beat on women. So I want to say all praises to the triune God, the God above all gods, the God who give us the moral to live in societies like this and to know that women are equal to men and to treat women justly. And even though the Bible says a woman should subject herself to her husband, the Bible also says a man must love his wife like he loves himself. So if the woman is subjected to him and he loved the wife like he loved himself, then he would be subjected to his wife. And it would be a partnership, an equal partnership. And he says, love your wife as you love yourself. I mean, it's an equal partnership. It's a commandment. Love your wife. Give your wife respect. He said, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life for her. So at the end of the day, you should love your wife in a point where you would die for her and not smacking your wife around and not sleeping with your wife when your wife wants to sleep with you. So at the end of the day, in a certain society, Islam cannot rule, because in a certain society where women are independent creatures. I mean, I say creature, I don't mean like creature walking around in the dark or whatever. I mean, humankind like me, I'm a creature created by God Almighty. We, and equal to us, they will stand up and fight, and they will you drive your woman in societies like this to be to commit infidelity because you refuse to sleep with your woman. So Islam was made for backward and society where women have no right. It's not made for this society. It is not. It is not. And I want to get to the point where this lady say that she was so we'll get there though. This lady say she is she have a master degree. I think she says she have a master degree in nursing, because I'm sure she don't. She don't have no master degree in nursing, because what she's saying don't make no sense. If she have a master degree in talking the nonsense that she's talking, that doesn't even make no sense. So I said, peace out and God bless you all, man, and keep holding the faith. Ain't no backing down.